She never thought about being in band.
That was the dumbest thing. You told me that, and I was like, why did my brain not think of this earlier? It's ridiculous.
Could have been in band together.
Apparently, when you're 18, your mind doesn't have logic yet.
I'm pretty sure that I'm nearing 40 and I don't have logic. I want to.
So the story that Chantel was talking about when we went live here is that I had a piano scholarship to go to Augustana College where we went. And as a requirement of keeping that, one of the things I had to do was be in an ensemble. And they said, "Oh, you're going to be in choir." And I said, "Well, but I can't sing." And they said, "Well, too bad, you're going to be in choir." So I had to audition in front of three very intimidating vocal professors and sing Mary Had a Little Lamb. And I gave possibly the worst rendition of Mary Had a Little Lamb ever because I was extra nervous on top of knowing I couldn't sing. And I was like, can you please just put me in the lowest choir? Just
Like,
please
I
put me
don't
there.
want better than that.
I know, right? So they did. And I stayed there for 4 years of college because even though I did get better, I never, ever wanted to go through that audition process again. And I just wanted to stay where I was at in the alto section because they knew I could read music. So that's where I stayed. And then Chantel and I'm telling her the
Fast
story
forward like
like
18 years later.
this summer. So 19 because I'm a year older than you. And she goes, I played the saxophone too, pretty decently in high school. She goes, why didn't you just do band? And I'm like, why didn't I just do band? Like literally, I put myself through 4 years of embarrassing hell, and I could have just played the saxophone in the stupid band. Oh my God. That's where the whole apparently logic doesn't come yet when you're
Doesn't come
18.
naturally. No.
It's not there. Hi Candace, how are you today? I kind of put the thing up super late today, so we might have people joining later.
That's
But
fine.
Melina, I probably said that wrong. Melnia. Melina? I'm not sure. I've butchered your name about probably 3 different ways. But hello, how are you? So what's everybody working on tonight?
Oh, sorry, I gotta mute us. You know, naturally, I'm the one messing this up.
Well,
There we
so
go.
do all the newbies coming on Zoom, so that's totally fine. Oh, Donna's already here. We'll add her in.
Yay.
For those of you watching on YouTube, go ahead and pop over to Zoom if you want to join us. You certainly don't have to. It just allows you to chat in real time and have your voice on as well. You don't have to do your face, but we do require that you answer a quilting question to prove that you are in fact a quilter because we've learned the hard way that sometimes non-quilters come on here and want to do not very savory
Quilty
things
things.
with quilts.
Yeah.
So, and I have been corrected with the phonetic pronunciation. It's Melina. So there we
Oh,
go.
that's
Thank you.
beautiful.
That is very pretty. I
Love
can
that.
read the phonetic pronunciation because one of my other college experiences was broadcast journalism. So I'm good with that. Happy
And Becky
Friday
says,
from
yep,
Becky. Baby
I have
bibs
it up
all
today.
day.
Oh, that's
I
cute.
That is fun.
I've been
I
going through my baby stuff today to get rid of it.
Does
And
your
so it's
ovaries
been
hurt yet?
quite, no,
Or
it's
are
quite
you
the
good?
emotional journey. Like I'm sad because I'm getting rid of some of my things that are like my son's too, because clearly my littlest daughter isn't going to wear a lot
Yeah,
of
that.
the whole torn knees of her
Yeah.
big brother. And just seeing all the little clothes that they fit in, and now they don't fit in them.
I know it's sad.
It is sad.
It is very sad.
I
You're
on
not
a
gonna
better
do
note,
a
I want
big
to.
onesie
Hi,
quilt
Donna.
like we did. Hi, Donna.
Hi.
Oh,
Congratulations
Chantel
to
has
Donna.
a quilty.
Oh, thank you.
I got
Oh, what's
I got to tell you guys about this. So Vera Bradley clearly is doing right by quilters and Disney adults by making quilty Mickey ears. Yes, I know, right? I made John make a special trip just for this, and he's lucky I didn't buy other bags because I insisted I could make those myself. When am I going to make those? I'm not going to make those. But
Those are cute.
Is
quilty
this why
ears.
you were asking me if my pattern was out yet?
No, maybe. I need the duffel.
The duffel also is on this weekend's to-do list. But Donna, there's a congratulations. What's the congratulations for? Can you hear us?
I can't hear Donna.
There we go. It came back
There we
on.
are.
There we
It's
are.
had some kind of error or whatever. I'm going to be off screen for a minute. My dog decides he has to go out right now. So
Okay,
well,
we will see you
we
soon.
take care of that really quick, and then I'll be back. So
we recognize that as a legit excuse as
well,
dog
he,
owners.
I could let him out, but he wouldn't be worth letting back in once I let him out because the other two dogs would roll him, and he's a really fluffy boy, so he would come in with all kinds of who knows what on him. So
Oh, I understand that.
so I'll be back. I will be back in a minute and
Okay.
and chat with y'all. So I'll see you in a few. I wanted to get this started because sometimes it takes
A minute.
15 or 20 minutes to get it started. It's like, why? I don't know why it takes so long.
You were on
sometimes, but
super
it just
early
does.
today,
So
and you made it work.
anyway, but I'll be back in a few.
Let's
Not a
see. We've
problem.
got Suzanne. Hello. Good evening, Suzanne. Rob and Chantel are saying hi. Candace still has totes of her daughter's baby and toddler clothes, and she's 21. The 13-year-old son only has one tote. They just aren't as cute. I agree. I totally agree on that one.
I
I
have
just
several
decided-
coats of my daughter's baby clothes too.
I am on
I'm gonna be
like
a
get rid of
minimalist.
it kick.
Me
No, you're
too.
not.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
But I am
I-
getting rid of things. I'm getting rid of things that no longer, like, I'm not going to have room for forever and don't have sentimental attachment. So, like, I went to my storage unit tonight, like, right before here, and, like, this was big. Like, I don't know if anyone remembers the sewing cabinet that I chalk painted white. It went, like, really big on the internet. And I always wanted to have room for it, but it's huge. I don't have room for it in my house. So I listed it on Facebook Marketplace. I'm letting it go. And I'm gonna let
we're
go of
going through
another
a kick.
thing.
We're gonna be minimalist. I mean, we're not, but we're gonna get rid of a few things.
I mean, I did very much look at that and think, like, I was looking on Facebook Marketplace to let my stuff out, and I saw this really amazing mid-century modern table that's actually reasonably priced. And I was like, my dining room table is not in good shape.
I
at
can't
all.
go on Marketplace.
And I was like, ooh, maybe I could sell enough stuff to and my table and trade it in. And then I was like, no, Stephanie, this is not the purpose of
No.
this right now. Right now, the purpose is to not have 3 freaking storage units. Granted, they're all 5x10s, but still not have 3 storage units anymore. You need 1 storage unit of just a sentimental crap and like the kids' clothes that you don't want to like get rid of because the
Right.
school uniform things are still going
And
to
some
be just
extra
fine.
holiday stuff.
Yeah, like like I also went and got like my grandma's Christmas dishes because I have to do photography of Christmas stuff this weekend for the book.
Oh, I was gonna
Christmas,
say.
holiday, like Halloween. What else do I have going right now? I've got mostly Christmas and Halloween. And it's supposed to be like through the year type stuff, but I'm very much at the point with this book. I have to be done by Tuesday, where I'm just like totally exhausted from doing it. And so I totally just did something I wasn't supposed to do, and that was EPP cut some of
Those
the
are
extra
so
little
good.
guys. I know, it's so fun. So I
So
told
good.
myself I'm just going to do the centers, and then I have to do like something else. And then maybe I can reward myself with a little bit more fussy cutting, like to go around one of them or something. But I'm
I'm the
just like,
worst.
I'm at the point where I need like a motivating factor because it's not the fun stuff now. Like I'm down to like hand sewing, and I probably have 1,200 feet of maybe 1,600 inches of binding to do.
Ugh.
I'm gonna glue it all down. 100% gluing all of the stuff.
Taking a shortcut.
Well, like all of these are glued down. I really need to do a series called Stephanie Binds a Quilt, where I just bind a quilt a week and I talk about the quilt and
actually a good
whatever the
idea.
heck is going on with life.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to do that. See, she
No, I
needs
really
to do
don't.
that. She just doesn't want to do that, and I don't
I
blame
do
her,
have
right?
one that I have to bind because the dogs have made it really gross and it needs to be washed.
You could do something like quilt binding confessionals.
I don't know that I have that much to confess.
Other than you glue all your binding. That's
Well,
a pretty
yeah.
big that's a pretty big confession.
Well, but I feel like that's an open secret, right? But
At this point, it's an open secret.
Yeah.
yeah,
We all-
Melina says she's working on a shadow box quilt for her son and daughter-in-law. It's queen size. That's a big one. Kathy McGuire's on. So is Sherry. Got
Oh,
lots
what
of
is this
lots of
wax
folks on
canvas
today.
tote thingy?
Who's
Rob's
doing that? I didn't see that.
Rob. A wax
wax canvas
tote
tote.
thingy.
So I worked with wax
Thingy.
canvas once and I didn't love it. What are you thinking, Rob, of it so far? Because I know what you're talking about. 'Cause
Does
I've
it gum
done
up your needle?
No, I didn't like how it wore over time. Like it's like it wrinkles and it's supposed to be wrinkled and stay wrinkled.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. They use
And it's
those
like
for
the more you use it, the
napkins
more
and stuff.
distressed it gets. And ironing it doesn't really do anything for it. You can take a hair dryer and that's supposed to help. And you can like re-wax it, but that's a whole lot of effort.
I tried waxing my own tote bag once, my own canvas, and it was supposed
Yeah.
to, be like this very easy process. It turned out terrible. I feel like
Yeah,
I
I
ruined
bet.
the bag, and it was an expensive. I didn't make the bag. It was I don't know. I bought it in Bend, Oregon, so you can only imagine what kind of bag it was, and yeah, it did not turn out cute.
Kathy, what is a potato chip quilt or block quilt? I don't know what that is.
Gosh, I want to know what that is. Where's
That
the
sounds
Google?
fun. And hello, Fred the knitter. I am also a knitter.
I got kicked out
I
of
brought
knitting.
I brought knitting with me last weekend, but then I didn't end up doing it because I was crafting by the pool. My husband and I went, both Chantel and I also did like little excursions with our husbands this past week. Not together, but
It was husband appreciation week, apparently.
well, it was my 15th wedding anniversary. So
Yeah, again, husband appreciation week.
yeah. So Rob says he's loving how it looks. It is distressed. So yeah, I mean that's just something
Yeah.
you have to like. You're gonna love it or you're not with the wax canvas look. I think maybe if I would have chose a different color, I would have been happier with it. But like the peach was like not the right color. Like I needed something like gray.
Something that would be
Something like
happy to be
that.
distressed, not peach.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that.
Oh,
Peach
you
would
made
just
the
look
wax
dirty.
canvas yourself? Oh, that's impressive. That's very impressive.
No,
We need a tutorial on this.
we do.
But
I know if we would be willing to do it.
I know, right? Maybe, I don't know.
I would
want to see
love a
it.
wax canvas back on like an outdoor quilt, like something that you throw down for your kids at the park or something like that. That would be
That
great.
sounds awful to quilt through though.
That's
like,
why I'm thinking you'd have to wax
horrible.
it after the fact.
So a potato chip block quilt is all 2.5 by 4.5 inch strips made it into a 10-inch block. So
That
basically
actually
it's
makes
just
a
little
lot of
bits of
sense.
everything. Yeah.
Can't have just one
But-
either, can you?
No, you cannot. You need more than one block.
You need
for
more
sure.
than one.
And more than one chip per block. But so I just went up to Dubuque. I did not do anything fancy like go down to Disneyland and get Vera Bradley Mickey Mouse ears. But I kind of have
Doesn't
always
matter.
wanted to learn how to cross stitch. And I really have never been able to because literally all the sewing I've done almost for the last decade has been work sewing. And now I can do what I want, kind of. And so I specifically didn't take my computer and I didn't take anything that I'm working on for the book deadline, and I bought a cheap cross stitch kit that wasn't hideous and tried to figure it out, and I think it is working out. Rob says that he
Oh,
used an
olive.
olive
Yeah.
drab color canvas guy thing. Well, that I sound like that's would be a good color to distress too. It's light around like the gray area where it like I feel like
It would distress well. Like if you make magenta
exactly.
distressed, it's just
It just
dirty.
doesn't look right. Yeah, for sure. And I love that bag that I did it with when it first turned out, but then it was like over time it just showed everything. So yeah, you need to have a color that it's okay that it's going to show everything. So I think you chose well.
Agree. To be fair, that bag that I waxed was like a blue color, but it had this brightness to it before that I appreciated. It wasn't like super bright or anything, but man, I did a bad job. It's a
Well,
really
when you
bad
don't know what
job.
you're doing
I
and
wasn't
you're
about
just,
to use my Oliso either and like melt it on there. I was like, oh,
yeah, that's a
this is
scary
how it
moment.
lives now.
Candace is using jelly rolls to make a tube quilt for her daughter's friends. She got roped into making it for her 5 closest friends, and this is number
Oh
4.
my
How on
God.
earth did you agree to that? I mean, I know how this happens
I do
because
too. Yeah.
I've seen it happen. My neighbor had that when her daughter graduated from high school. She made 5 identical quilts in the kids' favorite colors, all from scraps.
Can you imagine? No. No, 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 no,
But
no.
yeah, this is not my
I
jam.
just pretend I'm so elite that I can't make things for people, and that's not true at all. It's a good story. I'm sticking to it because otherwise I'm gonna
There you
end
go.
up making t-shirt quilts for the rest of my
Making all
life
the
or
things.
something.
Oh God, no.
I still haven't made my
I
own
do
t-shirt quilts.
I
That's
do
why I
not
got rid of all
use
those baby clothes finally. It's like I'm not gonna
Rob
make it.
is asking if we use industrial machines. I do not. I just use baby lock for like everything. Um,
Well, Gwendolyn
but
likes her vintage machines, which can eat just about anything. I have a straight stitch and then I have a Bernina. And between those two, they can do just about anything too. But my John's uncle actually has like old industrial machines for sewing leather and things like that, and he does upholstery. Those things are cool.
that does sound cool.
They're really cool. And it's like the kind of machine where each machine had its own job.
Purpose only, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of those on my Facebook feed lately.
Yeah, I can't go on
And
Marketplace anymore. They have machines on there and they know that I want them.
oh yeah, I know. I've been getting all of the like vintage, really cool looking wall art because I may have added a ton of that stuff to my cart one night and then didn't buy it. And
I carted it.
I did. Kathy McGuire sews on a 301 Singer. Kelly says to jump on the cross stitch train. It's an amazing community and you can sew matching project bags. That does sound fun.
You have a cross stitch like place in the Quad Cities, right?
I do. I've not been there. I was out today. I went to my local quilt shop, which is now 20 minutes away because there's no more in town. And because if you like to support your quilt shop and you want it to be there, you have to actually buy things at the quilt shop, like or you're driving 20
No.
minutes to the country to somebody who doesn't pay herself a salary
Or
because her
you're
husband
waiting
pays
3
all the
weeks for
bills.
somebody on Etsy
Yeah,
to send you your stuff, which I'm doing right now.
which those are your options, folks. But so I went out there. I knew she had cross stitch and needlepoint stuff, so I wanted to support her, and so I got some stuff from her. But yeah, I do want to check that place out. It looks huge. Like there's no way they're surviving just on stuff from the Quad Cities. There's no way. They've got to be shipping
They have
and
to have
have
an
like
online
quite the
presence or
operation.
something.
Yeah. I mean, having
That's really cool though that they
yeah.
have that. Maybe you can get them to start selling the quilty stuff we need.
I know, right? Kathy, the link is in the video description to join the Zoom. And Kathy's been on a bunch of times. Kathy McGuire, right?
Let's see, that's a Gwendolyn question.
Well, Kathy knows what a 301 singer is, so we're going to assume she's a quilter.
Yeah, Kathy's been on. I have her on the list.
Okay, good deal. Here, we'll give you one more just so we're not playing favorites. Kathy, what is another very well sought after vintage sewing machine besides the 301 Singer?
The brother one to it.
Sibling.
It's
Yes,
not a
sibling.
brother. It's not a brother machine.
Yeah,
We
it's-
probably should
Right.
say that.
The brother or sister, the sibling. Yes, the sibling.
Yes. So 301. I feel like the 301 is the second most popular vintage machine.
I think so. I just got one, by the
That's
way.
motorized. That's motorized. Because, everyone still loves a good treadle. And I may or may not have 2 or 3, which is why I have a more
Why you have a storage
Storage
unit.
unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we all have our treadle in the storage unit?
Mine holds my slot machine.
Actually, I think my treadle is in the basement. The one that I kept, but I still have 2 of the machines. 401A. Is that a thing?
That is a thing. It's a
Okay.
slant.
I was thinking more of the featherweight, but that works too. We can totally approve you. Just come on over, click on the Zoom link in the video description, and you'll be able to get to us. I've stopped putting it in the comments because that kind of cut down on the amount of spam people we got trying to join us.
That makes sense.
So you just have to go to the video description and it's right in there. So I'm not meaning to be difficult. I'm just trying to keep everything PG and just quilters and not people trying to ruin our nights. You also
don't
have a
want-
featherweight. That's pretty good.
Oh, do you have
I-
a 401? I want to know that. Those are really cool too. They're a little
I
bit different
need-
wiring.
To deal with my sewing machine, antique sewing machine issue though at some point.
You need a wall behind you. You have a big blank wall.
I do, but do you have any idea how many of these I have?
No,
It's a
but you do have a
significant,
really
it's like
big blank wall.
20. It's like 20 at least.
Have you
a
seen my
lot.
walls in my house? I don't
I
have a
know.
blank space on my walls. You can
I'm
fit
not
those machines.
allowed to put them upstairs.
Oh.
That
Marriage
is the one
ending.
thing.
No, I'm
That
kidding.
is the one thing that Adam has put his foot down on, is that he does not want them upstairs. My other concern though is like, how do I go find like something that I can put on the wall that is gonna stay out of the way of the long arm
Oh, that's true.
and
You need something on the floor.
and
yeah.
not fall off?
Okay. It actually is working this time. I'm amazed.
Oh, good. That is really good.
Oh,
By the way, this is what I'm working on right now. These
Kathy.
are
oh,
no
cool.
piecing placemats, and so I just have to edge stitch around it
I'll
after
show
I
you.
stitch everything down.
I'll show you the block I was talking about.
Oh, the potato chip block?
Yeah.
Yes, we need to see this.
Okay. Now, my skills have gone up. I'm a new quilter, so my skills have gone up. In my
Hey.
early blocks,
You're doing great. Just doing it is good.
Doing it gets you better.
Brenda,
Yeah.
from Mount Scrapmore, she talks about potato chip block a lot.
okay. Here we go.
Mount Scrapmore. That's what
I
I
don't
need to
know how
call my tiles.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how do I, like, is
Turn
there
it
a
around.
reverse
Are you on your
button?
phone?
Yeah.
Are you on your phone? Yeah,
Yeah.
if you tap on this, I haven't done it from my phone in a long time, but if you tap on the screen, you should see some kind of a reverse
And
option.
it looks like a little camera and it has
With
a
the
little circle arrow.
Yeah.
Camera,
I think it should just come up on your screen if you.
yeah, I see all the different deals down here.
I was
I
talking to
hate-
my dad about the challenges of
So maybe look like up in the right hand corner, there might be a little like outline of a camera with a little round circle arrow in it.
Oh, Grandma
like-
D's here.
Yeah,
Did
she
you see
is.
that?
I
Oh,
did. Hi,
did.
Grandma D.
The only thing I have is a record circle with a dot in it, record.
No, I don't
No,
need
not
to
that
that.
one.
Well, why don't
share.
you just flip the thing around and we'll just see
Or
it.
just pick up the blocks and show it by your face.
That works too.
You know what? Good idea.
That is a very, Chantel has all the easy solutions. Why didn't you just do band? Hold the block by your face.
There you go.
When it needs to burn the most, I'm there for
Can you
you.
see it?
Oh,
Can
it's
you-
cute.
Yeah, that's really
It's kind
cute.
of like a log cabin, but
It's
With
not
so
quite.
easy. It's so easy. And then you just turn the blocks
Different
back and
ways.
forth from the center. It either is tall, lengthwise or widthwise. So you just back and forth, back and forth.
That sounds fun.
But
Okay.
it's supposed to be totally scrappy, like you just pick pieces and put them together. I couldn't handle it.
I understand completely.
Yeah,
So-
same.
I
Ah.
decided to do print and solid.
Okay,
So that's,
that's a good
You know,
plan.
That
and I
works.
just print, yeah. When I tried to totally strap, I got cat hair all over me. When I
Yeah,
tried,
I covered in dog hair all the time.
I
so
relate.
it's all good.
I'm gonna
We're
show
a very
you my-
informal show here. Essentially, we
Yes.
all just sit around and we're friends and we hang out with each other, and half the time we're
Yeah,
off topic, but
exactly.
that's
Can I
what it
show
is.
you-
So cat hair welcome. Dog
Cat
hair
hair is
welcome.
welcome.
We're not
I'm
we're
I'm so
inclusive
glad
of all
you welcome the
types.
cat hair.
Pajamas, no bra.
Yeah,
There's
whatever
a reason
you
why
need to
this
do.
is up here.
Yeah, it's like Merry Christmas is up here.
That's how we no one sees Stephanie's boobs.
Oh man.
Uh,
If I had to do
you
it
know-
on a bra, it would be a different pay field, and definitely, yes.
For
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, I have my 301. Here it is.
Ooh, we need to see
I
that.
just got a 301, guys. I found it on Market. So this is why I can't go on Marketplace.
There it
This
is.
is why you're in trouble.
Oh,
Nice.
she's pretty. A black
Oh,
one too.
like
she's so
the black.
shiny.
Oh, this one is in mint shape. I
Alright.
love the way it sews. Oh,
It's got the short bed on. I love it.
yeah.
That's gorgeous.
And then I have the 401A as well.
Is that the one with the slant?
Yeah,
slant
they're all
needle?
slant. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
the 301 is a slant as well. So yeah, I'd have another 301.
Oh, I can kind of see it there. There we go. So that one's yes.
See the long
That's
bed?
just like mine. Yes.
This is a different beige though. See the beige on my 401?
Yes.
Okay. That's normally the color of the when it's beige.
Mhm.
This is like olive beige.
It is darker.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Tote. Looks kind of
I want yeah, like a tote. But it needs some work, this little baby, but she doesn't have a mark on her.
Do you fix any of the machines?
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
I do.
taking some coursework with the
With who?
sewing machine doctors. And
Oh, I would love, is it something they
Online.
teach all-
it's all
okay.
online. And
I would
Yeah,
love the
it's-
link if you have it.
ooh, I'll
Or
have
at
to
least-
find it and drop it in.
Or not
it's
even
been-
that. If you just tell me, I'll write it down.
Sewing machine
Online.
docs is the people that do it, and they'll go to a lot of the trade shows and things like that.
Yeah,
And,
I really want to learn. Well,
She has a special
I'm
class
think-
just for the 301s and the featherweights too, for maintaining them, because so many people have them, and it costs so much money
Yeah.
to get your machines fixed. Yeesh.
no, like my 301, I just greased it and oiled it and cleaned it.
They'll
before
get
I started.
machines that can't move, that are completely
Frozen.
shut down and everything, and they teach you how to get them completely unfrozen and
Oh,
get the
That's awesome.
graphics to come back, and
yeah, I need that too.
and I really
Uh,
like Andy.
How,
She's
how
Oh,
much
that sounds
did you
fun.
charge for the class?
I'm can't really remember. I know I had a deal after
Quilton.
Yeah, it was after QuiltCon that they had a deal, but it's not bad. Consider yourself a cleaning or
Oh
whatever
yeah, I
in,
mean, I
and
already
you're
know
done.
something. So you
So
gotta let
I
me
maintain all my own machines now.
They will also maintain them for you. Like they teach the class, but they'll also maintain them. You can send them to them in St. Louis, out of St. Louis.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
I
just
got,
sounds fun anyway.
yeah, and here's my featherweight I got for free.
What?
Yep.
How
Look
is
at the
this
graphics
possible?
on that. He's so cute.
Yep. And she
That
worked.
is, I'm jealous.
Yeah, that's one you don't have.
I have a green one that is not as small as a featherweight, but it is close. Really close.
Yeah. This yeah. My friend owned it and she had two. This was her mother's and she didn't like her mom.
Oh.
So she gave it to me.
She didn't want the
Gosh.
memory.
Hey,
Well, at
you
least
know
she gave it to
what?
someone who'd appreciate it.
Oh
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, exactly. And
Oh my goodness.
it came with all its gadgets and its manual. So yeah. the
Well,
only thing
I like the story behind it.
oh,
That's
yeah,
it's
I know. I
I
thought
mean,
that was
it's
funny.
unfortunate, but at the same time, you're like, well, I'll take it for you. I'll help you out.
Well, she says I have a gift for you. She gave me that 301 over there and this for free.
oh my
Hey,
goodness.
Steph, where's my 301 and my featherweight friend?
I don't have one to give
Well,
you.
if
I
I
did
get this,
find I immediately offered you the vintage, or not vintage, but the original Ruby Star Society bag when I found two when I was in the storage unit.
Yes, and I can't wait.
well, when
They're
I get this
huge.
fixed,
Big totes.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead. I'm
Oh, it's
interrupting.
okay. We
No, you're
just got
fine.
excited about something. This is
We had a
normal
little
for
tangent.
us. We haven't talked to each other all week, which is kind of
You know how
like
it is
shocking.
when you got something like really exciting that you're excited about, like it. Yeah, I
I
get
The
it.
get
funny thing is with us, it doesn't even have to be exciting. We could just
It really doesn't need to. I
no.
was trying
She
to
bought
leave
a
you
moo-moo.
alone. I did, yeah. We were really excited about that. But I was trying to leave you alone so you could have some good time with your husband and not be texting me the whole time.
Oh
So
my gosh.
It was good.
it was
We drank
purposeful.
in every country in Epcot
Well, there you go.
in one day. So
Wow.
we
Can't do
got up
that with
late
the
the
kids.
next day.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to tell you girls, as soon as I get this working, I'm going to sell it probably for like $50.
Really?
Yes.
Can I have dibs since Chantel has one of each?
Yeah, you can have dibs.
Because that
You
is
can
like
have-
one I don't have in my
'Cause
collection.
I have the parts that it needs and everything. So
I
Dibs.
will buy that and pay for you to ship it. No
Okay.
questions asked.
okay. I have
You have a
the
buyer.
handle. All right. It does have a little bit of scratches on it on top. But it's clean. Like, look. There.
I
you
will just be absolutely thrilled because
She
Yeah.
would be.
See how
I don't
clean?
have that one. I got to a point eventually where like I didn't buy them unless they had a pretty color because I probably have at
Well,
least
this
one
is a pretty color.
vintage
Like
machine.
compared to the beige
Yeah, the
or
browns
cream
and
color. This
Yeah.
color is awesome. I like it. It's almost like army. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like, did the army use this one or?
it's just a
knows?
different color tone. That's really cool though.
Yeah,
That is cool.
I haven't seen. So I've got it has this. It's bent, but I have a brand new one. So I'm going to put that on there. I have a brand new, or I have the other pin that goes to the handle. That's pretty much it. I put it brand new on the pan, the oil pan. I put a brand new whatever that is, that spongy thing that's on there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That thing gets stanky.
Yeah, it does. So it's got a brand new one too. So, and that's it. But I mean, everything else is like perfect, you know?
That sounds awesome. I
So
would
as
love
soon as I
to
get it
buy that
running,
from you.
okay, it's yours.
Awesome. You just let me know.
Yay!
Okay.
And she's
Um,
gonna clear out that storage unit.
I
Whoop.
know,
Now,
right?
Nope.
now I'm
Nope.
gonna show you my baby.
Oh, I want to see the baby.
Yeah, I have not committed to getting rid of any of the sewing machines.
No, you don't have to.
I'm not
Uh,
going to.
That, that 301, it's just, I want it to be used, and I know you'll take care of it, so I'm good with that.
Oh, I absolutely will take care of it. I will cherish it. It will be
She'll
placed in a place of esteem.
she'll find
Okay.
those shelves.
I'll figure something out.
Are you ready for my baby?
Let's
I'm
see
ready
the
for the
baby.
baby.
I just got this one. I got it for $100. Ready? Here we
Let's
go.
see. Let's see.
Can you see it?
Ooh, that is a cool looking one.
This
What is that one? That's a
It looks like
four-
it's ready to like take flight and become an airplane.
It is the Rocketeer.
Well, that makes sense. If it's called the Rocketeer.
It was
That is
during.
cool.
It's got all its hands and everything. It works.
$100.
$100.
Done. That's so cool.
Actually, the Rocketeer is one of those that people collect because it was during they made this during the
Space race.
yes.
Probably.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
It looks straight out of like Epcot. I mean, I just came back from Disney, so my mind is
Yeah.
still very much like
It looks like, like you'd see it on the Jetsons.
Exactly.
do.
And I have this wonderful machine that goes through leather and denim and all that stuff. It's just simple, but it's here we go. Kind of like you have one for each deal.
Oh yeah, what is that one? No way, I have one of those too.
A
Right
white.
over there. And then Deco?
There's the white.
What
It-
is it called? Is it an Indeco?
It's just called
Mine-
white.
Oh, yours is just white. If you look
Yeah.
over here, over
Oh,
by
white is a brand.
Yeah,
I have
it's
some
no,
of
I,
those too.
I know. I have one that's almost exactly like it over here. As you see my featherweight over there. And then
Here,
there's a
let's
brown
see.
machine. It looks just like that. There were a few machines that were made that would go by a few different names, depending on where they were manufactured or who bought them up. But Japanese made, they could do a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Now, the white is the only sewing machine company that could have overtaken Singer, but they got out of the business. And so, but everything else is a copy of Singer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Everything.
this Indeco or whatever is it's kind of a similar situation where all the parts are replaceable with Singer parts.
Yeah. Singer was the mainframe for all sewing machines.
I've seen a lot of really cool machines by White.
Yeah.
I think
They-
I have.
I
at
don't
least
know
one.
why they got out of the business, but they would have taken Singer down.
They
were
had some
doing,
really pretty machines too.
and they were very straightforward. They're very they were very functional and easy to do. Like there's no fancy gadgets on that thing, but it sews like a dream. So
Hey,
I
Gwendolyn's one of
Gwendolyn.
my project machines. So yeah, totally cool.
I'm gonna pop in here because Gwendolyn, Barbara,
Mhm.
says happy Friday to you because she saw you on the Just Get It Done EPP one. So do you do a live with them too,
Who?
Gwendolyn? No?
No,
Okay.
hold on, let me think. Oh, just get it done. She has her group. I'm a member of her group,
Okay.
but she doesn't do live. She does like a monthly sew.
Okay.
Mm.
And she'll teach like something every month usually.
hmm
And she did EPP, and I think the next one she's going to do is curves. I think we requested curves, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
fun. Karen Brown.
Curves are so intimidating, but once you like figure out how to do it, it's really not bad.
Yeah.
They
Oh.
won't be scary to Gwendolyn. She did clothing.
I'm sure.
Curves are
Uh-oh.
like really I mean, you know that, Stephanie, 'cause you've did a lot of clothes. I feel like when you do apparel, you're pretty good at curves because you're creating
Everything's rounded.
3D. Yeah, you're having to
Well,
do that.
but it
Getting
does have
curves
to be
that want to lay
flat at the
flat.
end. So that's
We're
the difference.
glitching, guys.
You're glitching? Who's
We're
glitching?
glitching. We're behind.
Catherine is?
It's
Oh yeah, we're
catching up.
always behind. There's
Yeah.
always a delay between Zoom and YouTube. That is just a functionality thing. So if you're watching
Driving me
both,
crazy.
Well,
just
don't look at that.
just mute YouTube. And what I do is I've got it so that I can see the comments, but YouTube is blocked. I'm just seeing the Zoom screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because then
Oh.
it doesn't bug me so much. Because yeah, that would bother me too, 100%.
Oh,
But
okay. Well, I'm not done with
I
sewing
actually,
flow.
oh, you did. I love your machines. I
I've-
need to
I've
figure
got
out what
2
I even
more that
have
I
for
wanna-
mine.
Oh, absolutely. We want to see him. You're on.
For sure.
Your
Your
camera's
camera's
off.
off though.
My camera's off?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you must have turned it
What's
off
going
somehow.
on?
We saw the last machine and everything, but then the camera went off. But that's okay too.
I
Except-
wonder, did I get like thrown out?
No,
No,
go
you're
ahead,
still
move your-
in. It's
Oh,
just there
there
you
I
go.
am.
There you are.
Okay, there we go. Okay, actually, there's 3 machines, but one of them is
Don't mind me. I'm hammering a seam. There we go.
Okay,
Oh, we see your
so
ceiling light now.
Donna, share
What?
with everybody your news.
I entered 4 quilts in the Varine's quilt.
Oh
Guild.
yeah, we wanted to know about that.
I placed on all 4. I got
Wow.
I got a first, I got 2 seconds, and I got an honorable mention.
So
That is
exciting.
amazing. You are
Were
4 for
any of
4.
them the ones that you had done before, that you had entered before?
Yes, the 2. Conestoga Crossing got first place. Botanica Park got second. My gnomes got second, and then the Iris quilt, the one that was, it looked kind of like
oh my
lattice.
gosh, is that
Lattice,
ever
whatever.
gonna catch up?
It had honorable mention on it.
That's
Like,
awesome.
I was like almost crying, right?
Yay.
That's amazing.
I was
Congratulations.
We're proud of you.
Yeah, congrats.
And that goes to show you
So
don't
there
know
were-
what you would get unless you enter something.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And so I was thinking on the way there, like to preview night was last night. The show started today and it goes through tomorrow. But I was like, okay, how am I going to feel if I don't have anything? Am I going to be okay if I don't? Because
Right.
these people, they're just like my other guild. They are very they're very good, right? So it's intimidating to enter, knowing your competition or whatever. But you
I
just
understand
enter.
that one.
Just enter and yeah, so it was good. It was good. I was standing there. So right when I walked in the door, I could see like the second aisle where the gnomes quilt was, and I was like, oh my goodness, there's something on that, right? But
Yay.
the way
That's
they
exciting.
delivered it, I couldn't tell, what was on
That
it. I didn't know it was whatever. But
Makes me want to like actually enter. I've actually never entered a quilt in a contest.
Have you ever
I'm too
gone to
nervous
the
to.
Peoria Modern Quilt Guild?
No, they don't have a modern. They have a guild. But then wait, what is this machine I'm seeing? That is the coolest thing, Catherine.
Ooh, what's Catherine's still on show and tell. She's got 3 more machines to show us.
And
That
I
one
can't
looks
help
like
but look.
Darth Vader would like enjoy
I
it.
think it looks like
Like a gemstone or something.
it looks like armor, like
It's cool.
Yeah.
it's like a coffin or armor.
Tell us what it is.
It is a Kenmore.
Really?
Yeah.
I
used
wouldn't
to
have
see,
guessed
like,
that.
boat
It looks
anchor
like an
Kenmores.
it looks kind of like an industrial machine, is it?
No,
No, it's just a domestic machine.
it's a rotary. It's
You should
running.
name that one Darth Vader.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's a good. Oops. Hello.
Oop, you turned
I
the
am
camera
your
off again.
father.
I hit the button. I touched the button.
We have lots
But-
of congratulations for you, Donna, on the chat on
Thank
YouTube.
you. Thank you. And so this is just my second show. I entered last year to one of my guilds, and this is a different guild. So that I belong
Awesome.
to. So
Congratulations.
I'm very excited. And so now I have the one that I entered last year. It'll be they do them every other year. They don't have a show every year. So now I'm planning and preparing for 2025.
What about your
That's
pineapple
exciting.
quilt you did? You could turn that into a show.
Do you want to see that? Let me see. Where is it?
'Cause that did good. You won the one thing with the pineapple quilt, right?
Yeah. It was considered an ugly quilt contest, and we just had what it is it's this fabric that doesn't sell real well, and they you take a yard of fabric and you take it home, and then you bring it back and you complete a quilt. So that's kind of what it is. But hang on, I'll show you it.
I love that one.
Are you guys
Okay,
hearing my
why-
sewing machine, by the
While
way?
she's doing
Not
that,
at all.
Okay, good.
Here's the rotary. See this? That's
Oh,
the
wow.
motor.
Oh, so do you crank that?
This runs. See this little thing here?
Oh,
It
so that's not
runs
like for
this.
the bobbin. That's the motor run. Oh,
Yeah, it moves this. That's how it
That's
goes.
cool.
But right now, see, it moves. This moves back and forth.
gotcha.
It's got this rubber has a big old dent. So when I turn it, it actually runs
Oh,
and it actually works. But what happens is with this dent, it goes click, 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 click.
that makes
But-
sense.
But it actually works.
That's really cool.
I can't get.
I
close
love
to it.
seeing those old machines.
One of
I
the
love
other
'em.
things that's on my
can't
bucket
get
list
far
is
enough
one of
back.
those hand crank machines
Hmm.
and then an American Girl toy sewing machine.
Yes, I
Like, I
agree on
need that.
one. How long did we make it before we talked about dolls? Let's see.
That is not, that's an actual brand of machine.
I know.
It is not American Girl related, but I need to have it because of that.
I
Is that your
paid-
ugly quilt one? That's really cool.
Let's see it.
Yeah,
Ugly.
It's
It
really
turned
hard
out so cool.
to show.
Oh,
But it's about
ugly.
I don't know 50 something.
It had ugly fabric in it. She made it beautiful.
You
All right,
did.
here's the ugly fabric. It was
Oh.
pineapples.
Okay, a lot of that could be nauseating. I get that.
Yeah.
So I put like a strip of that somewhere in each of the blocks. One strip.
Did you
Plus,
use your AccuQuilt for that?
I did AccuQuilt, the log cabin block. I sure did.
Yeah, I love my AccuQuilt.
See, everybody. See, I don't use my.
There was a big tangent on that last time.
Yes, we're all kind of deciding if we like AccuQuilt or not. I'm still deciding if I like it, and I have one. But
You
I
know-
don't. My block in a box.
You just
What,
have to
what are
start
those things
using
called?
it. You just have to start using it.
Well, I did
Honest-
just get my littlest one in daycare, so
I kind
maybe
of
I
feel
will get
like
off the sofa and start playing with it.
It's
kinda
okay
feel
to
like
take
after
like a
last
week to relax.
You want to get one?
yeah, after Donna talked about it last week,
Wait
I
until I tell you to buy because they have good sales every once in a while, like really good ones, and I follow those sales pretty religiously. About
well, I told my husband we haven't did Christmas gifts for the last couple years because we didn't, you know, all year long we kind of just get whatever we want. So we're like, oh, I think I'll get this year, you know, whatever. But this year I told him, I said, you know, I'm thinking maybe I want to AccuQuilt. And so I kind of put
it
that
was
in
fun.
his head after Donna talked about it last week and stuff. So yes, let me know when sales are so I can feed that to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
and
this
so
done.
one of the good sites to go to is called ladyfingersewing.com. She has excellent sales, and if it's not on sale, whatever, she usually has free shipping. So that can be a huge
Oh,
money
yeah,
saver.
yeah,
So
yeah.
ladyfingersewing.com. And also Eleanor Burns site. I gotta
Wait.
take care of something. I'll
Yeah.
be right.
Which one though? Which because
Don't
there's
get
several
the Go Me.
models.
Don't get the Go Me. Get something
So
above
the
that.
me is little. It's
Little,
just for
and
you.
The reason
The
I'm
the
So get
Go
the
is
Go.
medium, and then the Go electric is like the big
It's
one.
Go Big. It's
Well-
called a Go Big. The Go Big is electric. I only use that. You only have to have the Go Big for like I have tons and tons of dies, right? But I only have like 6 or 8 or maybe 10 at the most that have to have that Go Big. But the
You don't
reason
have to
I
crank
like
it.
right, you don't have to crank it, and it's not a big deal to crank it. I use the Go all the time, the one that's the hand crank. I use that all the time. But when I
Well, yeah,
really like the
but there's
electric,
a problem.
when I
is
really
that
like
if
the
you-
electric, go ahead.
Hold on, Catherine. Let Donna finish for a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
When
I'm
I
getting a
really like
delay.
the,
Sorry.
when I really like the electric is the long dies, right? They're long.
Yeah.
You've got fabric on them, you've got your mat, you got everything where you want, and now you're trying to set that up there on the go, hold the end of it or get it started and crank. That's when I use my
Mhm.
electric. I just set it up on the electric and it takes off and it goes in, and I don't
Right.
because that's one thing you don't want to do is like get everything laid out, get it where you want, and then you get it up there to the go and you can't get it started, right?
Yeah, and it
You don't have
shifts or
3 hands.
something.
Well, you don't have 3 hands. You're trying to hold the thing so it doesn't move. You're trying to turn the handle and you're trying to hold that die so that it will start. So that's the only time that I really like my big. Other than that, 99% of the time I am using the Go with the handle. The Go
Oh,
is a lot cheaper, but the electric is nice to have when you need it. So it depends on your finances. If you're going to, make it an investment, get the big. You can get the Go later if you want. But I leave my Go Big stays in its case like right behind my cutting table 99% of the time.
Okay, so for I know you have 2, but if I'm gonna do one for like my first one to have him
I
get
would
that
say get 8 inch.
get the big. Get the electric one.
Oh yeah.
You
Get
know
the
what I
electric.
would do? I would get the electric one because I honestly, after using it for a while, see so much benefit in being able to just feed it in and have it feed out because it's the fabric shifting and needing of the third hand to basically crank it. If you
Yeah.
have the money, and really when you bundle it with the other, like with the die set, it usually will they'll bundle it where you can get it with a die set, which the 8 is a great example, a great one because you're getting all your blocks that are in your 2s, 4s, and 8s, right? So anything that's going to be a multiple of that. And then in the future, if you wanted either the 6 or the 12, which Donna was talking about that, she bought the 6, I bought the 12, but you're essentially getting those 3.
I have all of them. Yeah, I have
6,
all of them.
and
The 4, 5,
1 and
6. Yeah, all of it.
the 1 and you're getting those multiples that make sense for most of the quilts that you're going to find patterns for.
Now, if you can find them on the second market, is it worth it, or
Yes.
do they? Is there something? Because some people will put things on the second market when they have flaws or when they're dull or when they don't work. So is it? I don't know enough about it to know.
For me, I use mine all the time, and you don't need to really worry about the dies being bad unless they were faulty to start with, right?
Okay.
They're sharp and they stay sharp.
It's your mats. You need mats because as you cut, your mats will get worn and they won't cut well. And so you need to invest in mats when you buy that stuff. Like if let's just say you buy the 8-inch cube, you're going to need little 6-inch square mats because that fits all of those cubes, the corners, the angles, all the cubes, all the sizes except for probably when you get up into your 10 and 12 are are that same 6" or 6.5 or whatever that size mat is.
Right.
Yeah.
All
Or
right.
you get your
Size
long
this die
slip
is,
ones are
We've
really
got-
cool.
We have a few questions on YouTube along with this. A big one is, what are the most used cubes? Or the most used dies to get.
Yeah,
So
which is going to
Chantel
be my
and
next.
Donna, you both have them. What are
Mhm.
your like top 3 for each of you? Chantel, why don't you go first?
Actually, let Donna go first. I'll pull my card over here so I
Okay.
can
6.
show things.
Oh yeah, that's
All right,
I
Donna,
would
go
say
for it.
6, 8, and 12.
And explain more about what those are for those of us who.
Well, the 6" your 6" cube cuts multiples of 3. If you think about whatever the die, let's just say it's a 6" cube, half of that is 3. So let's say you have a 4 grid thing. Let's just say you have 4 across and 4 down in your block. You're going to need that one, right? Because that's 3, 3, 3, 3 makes 12. Usually you're making a 12.5" block. You're not buying a 6 because you want to make a 6" block. That has not really like nothing to do with it. It's the size of shapes that you're cutting, or the components of the block that you're making are by 3s.
Right. Like it adds
8.
up to 6.
Right. And so that's, like the 8 would do multiples of 4. So if you had a 3x3 grid, right, like it's a block that has 3 across and 3 down, you're going to need that 8 for 4, 4, and 4 makes 12.
So when it
3
says
times
that,
4.
when you say 4, is that really 4.5 with the seam allowance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
unfinished. So 4 is the finished size.
Okay.
So you're going. Let's just say you're making a friendship star or whatever, and it's half square triangles. Those, you're going to make a half square triangle that measures 4.5. Once you sew it in, it will be 4 inches.
I will say the confusing part about that is that some blocks are based off of having 3 rows and 3 columns. So
Right.
most of the AccuQuilt ones they give you options for are based on like 2 or 4 rows and 2 and 4 columns. So that's why I like the 8 a lot. That's probably my number 1 as well, because you can make 8-inch blocks that are like 4 across by 4 down, or 2 across by 2 down,
Right.
to make the whole block. Or you can make 12-inch blocks that are 3 across and 3 down, or 6 across and 6 down. So it's super. And then I have the 12-inch, which I like, because then when I'm mixing and matching blocks that are your, your 3 across, 3 down of your 8s.
Yeah. And you can actually mix them up and like make different size blocks or whatever too. But yeah, I like the 8.
It's made in an organized fashion. It's just they
And
try
you
to
get the
bundle
patterns.
together what you need. So you're gonna get your half square triangles. You're gonna get, what you need to make flying geese. You're gonna get what you need to make hourglasses.
Rectangles.
Rectangles.
Square triangle, quarter square triangles, rectangles, square. Like in your 8-inch, you're going to have a die that cuts a 4-inch square. In your 8,
Can
your
you show
10-inch,
some of them?
Yeah, I got mine right here.
I got to go
This
downstairs for a second. I'll be right back.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Go.
Yeah, sure.
This is why I said you should get the next size up, because see this? That's a 5-inch square, and it doesn't fit in the Go Me.
Yes, the Go Me is very small. It's like, the Cricut
This fits
Joy
in
that
all-
people buy, and it's itty bitty.
Yeah.
And it cuts the vinyl and stuff like that. It's meant for like label making. The Me doesn't cut
bigger.
anything of substance. And so you're gonna phase yourself out of that really fast.
But not
Especially
even a
you, Gwendolyn.
5-inch square.
I'm
I mean,
actually-
a 5-inch square is a charm.
That's the Me though. The Me is a little, it would be the kind of thing you'd bring on retreat.
Okay, so a Me is smaller than the Go.
Than the regular Go. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Here's the Me. That's what I have, but I had no idea in the beginning like how it worked. So, but this is the Me right here.
This is the Go. So, I'm like 5'1.5". And then this is the go. So you can say it takes up most of my torso.
Let's see.
And it folds over. It's a piece of equipment.
Well, that one would fit, that 5-inch block would fit in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now the electronic one, those 5-inch blocks, they can usually fit like 2 of those. So you can do
Okay.
multiple strips at the same
Okay.
time.
And you
Okay.
can do up to 6 pieces or 6 layers.
I do 8. I'm not gonna
Do
lie.
you?
Yeah, all the
It
time.
doesn't, you don't find your blades getting dull?
Nope.
Oh.
Not yet, at least.
Okay.
But
I was-
again, it depends on what you're doing. I like my strip dies. So whereas
Yeah.
everybody here is like, I love these cube dies. I like my strip dies because most of the stuff I do, I still haven't figured out the precision yet to be able to get my flying geese to be perfect flying geese like Donna has.
Right.
But I
when
use
I do
it with AccuQuilt. Yeah.
So I use the strips to make my general pieces that I need. And then I do it the good old fashioned way, but I have everything quickly stripped out.
Right.
Which some people will say, well, I can use my stripology ruler or something like that, which if you don't have one of those people, you need one of those things. They're amazing.
I need that.
I want
I
to
need to have
get
that.
one.
The stripology, get the big one. The little
best-
one doesn't do much for
What
you.
size?
I think
The
I am
12?
the least kitted out of all of you, and I actually owned
are.
a shop. But I also am also very accurate with cutting, so I've never really felt
Except
the
when
need.
she's online.
Yeah, except for when I'm live on the internet.
The best thing that I can tell you if you're thinking about AccuQuilt is go on to the AccuQuilt Facebook page, join that, go back through, and or you can even do YouTube. Go back and watch videos that are showing, it'll say mix and match cube.
Yeah.
Whatever size, mix and match cube. Watch those videos. You will find out in 1 or 2 of those what they are, what they do, and how to use them, because they are very good at explaining very basically start to finish, putting fabric on, why you put the fabric this way instead of that way. And they make 72 blocks. You buy one cube, you don't not even counting the corners and the angles, and you've got 72 blocks that you can make with that one cube. Yeah.
I got the 5-inch because
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I got the 5-inch Go Cube mix and match block.
Actually, how do you like that one? Because I don't have anything in that proportion.
I love it. It's got the 2.5 by 4.5 block strip that makes 2. It's got the half square triangle, and it actually adds on the 1/4 inch. So
that is the nice part. So you're talking about your finished block when it's sewn into your quilt. So when we say an 8-inch cube, it's technically your final block is 8.5. But when you put them all together, they're an 8-inch block, right?
Right.
That's a really hard thing to grasp, I think, for people who don't design.
All the cubes are have the exact same shapes, the same number 1 in shape. You know, if you buy a 4-inch cube or you buy a 12-inch cube, it's a square. Number 1 is a square, right?
I was gonna say I can't find mine right now because it's used too much.
I take a magic marker and put on the end of my boxes because I have all of them. I take a magic marker and I write 8-inch on the end of all of those, like her little I write it in with a marker, because that way when I take them apart, maybe I'm using multiples. Maybe I'm not using just the 8. I'm using 6 and the 4 too. Yeah. And I want to put them back with that one, because
this one's a specialty one, but this is like the size that you use for the 12, a lot of the 12-inch blocks. So I don't have mine separately labeled. That's a great idea though, because when I have this cart. I don't know if you guys can see it. I have like, it's funny because it's just like a little Michael's cart or whatever, but for whatever reason, it fits it perfectly. So let me get you out of the little, there we go. So there's my little cart.
Oh, yeah.
And it fits all my stuff. And so it fits all my strip ones in here. Hey, there's my square.
Does it fit the machine too?
It does not, because I have way too many things. You know me. I just I can't buy just one thing. I have to buy like the entire collection.
All right.
I'm
I ha-
loving this one right now because I'm actually working on a quilt
Mm-hmm.
of these
See-
and having these precision cut quickly.
I think that would
Oh,
probably be one of the first dyes I would get.
That would be
I have an
a
extra
really good
one,
reason
so
I would see
done.
for getting one of those.
Yeah. I love the curved ones. I still have these in the plastic because I
Yeah,
haven't
they
decided
have-
to break it out yet.
All kinds of stuff. Animals.
Oh yeah, their applique dyes are really cool because they'll cut out the shapes like for me it would be like stars or something like that would be likely what I would get. But they provide the embroidery software to be able to embroider around the particular item that you bought. So if you have something complicated, it's gonna, oh, there's a kitty. I saw a kitty. Sorry, it's our
Oh,
first
yeah.
animal sighting of the party here.
All
Yeah,
right, I
that's,
have to hop in
that's
because
American.
we have Michelle is trying to come into the Zoom, and we'd love to have you. But you've got to answer a question over on YouTube to prove you are a quilter. There are 3 common batting fiber contents. I would like to know what they are.
I had to think about that for a hot second. Don't say
Yeah,
it, guys.
I think I know.
I
Oh,
mean,
you
really,
know.
there's a lot, but there's 3
Name
that
3.
probably come to mind. Yeah.
I have the drunkard's path ones, which are great for doing those curves. There's the kitties. Oh, there's an orange machine.
Pink
Ooh.
and brown. If they
Oh.
move out of the way.
No, don't make the kitties move.
Look at them.
We love a good pet around here.
I could see, like, we looked into getting an AccuQuilt when we were doing a lot of block of the months because we would cut 1 inch extra for everyone.
Mhm.
And I thought if we could cut exact, then that would save
That would
us.
save you.
It would literally save us 2 yards per fabric per month, which is a lot of money. So we were kind
It
of doing the
doesn't cut
math.
like that though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Do the
So that's-
studio, the studio dyes. A lot of quilt shops will
That's
own
what
the
we were-
studio dye.
That's what we were
Mhm.
looking at was the studio, which was like $700 at the time.
Gwendolyn's
And-
just taking this all in. She is a sponge right now, I can tell.
Yeah.
She is. She's
So
she's
is
thinking
the
real hard.
studio bigger than the
This-
electric? that
It's a
you
Yeah.
talked
lot
about?
bigger and it uses certain dyes, although I think you can use the regular dyes with a
An
padded,
adapter.
yeah,
It's an adapter pad, but
but
you
it's
know,
probably
like,
not worth it.
you don't want it. I don't, even as much as I cut all the time, I don't need a studio dye. I'm not a business. I am not mass producing thousands and thousands of
Right.
Okay.
whatever. Even if I am, I
That's
can,
so
I can do them really quick. Yeah.
Well, I like to have the biggest and the best and the most recent. As you already know, I love to have
You
a
love
good
a good-
buy. But even I wouldn't touch that one. That one would just it would
Yeah.
outdo me.
Well,
To a
and then
point.
some of the dyes are specific, they're only for the studio dye also. So be careful
Yeah.
when you're purchasing, that you're purchasing.
You want the go dyes.
And
Go
they say-
dye. Isn't that
they'll
a
show-
terrible name? Did you ever think about that? The
No.
go dyes?
But they
Yeah.
tell you on the cube or the die, it will have a little legend on there and it shows you what machines you can use to cut with
Is it
that.
really?
Now, I
Yes.
cut super
Like the
fast
bottom right corner, I
You
think.
do.
and super accurate as long as I'm not on the internet while I'm doing it. And so I probably would never want like the squares or cubes or whatever, but where you were showing those specialty shapes, like I
Mhm.
would never do one of those clamshell quilts because I know I don't have the patience to cut all those things
But
out.
you would come over to your friend's house and be like, I'm just going to cut all these clamshells real quick, Chantal.
That I could definitely do. We've got some more comments over on YouTube. That
Okay.
AccuQuilt is really good for cutting scraps up into usable pieces. I could see that.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
run it through, and
Oh,
then you
that's
don't have to spend all the
see, I've
time going through
considered
it.
that too, because we've talked in the past about my scrap issue, how it's out of control and I don't know
It
what
is
to
a
do
little
with
out of
it.
control.
Yeah.
I have an
You can do
entire cart.
Divisions of those, like I like one of my favorite shape, blocks, whatever is the log cabin. And so you
I
can
don't
take the
have that
scraps
one.
you can take your scraps, right, and you can just cut a bunch of scraps out of whatever size, log, if you're gonna logs. You just keep them separated into, is that a 12.5-inch strip? Is that a 10.5? Is that 8.5? Is it, 3.5? Is it 6.5? Whatever it is, right? You keep those separated. You get ready to make a log cabin quilt. You've already got everything ready. You just start grabbing, and you know exactly which one you're grabbing. You've got some for your 2.5. You've got some for your 1.5. You've got
That's
some
a good point.
3.5, 4.5. And it's a good thing. And I think
you need to be an
people will
AccuQuilt
use,
ambassador.
well, I've had people tell me that
I've
AccuQuilt
tried to
should
get
be
on
paying
that.
me money, but I like it. So if I like it, I'm gonna share that I like it to people. You could get like a silverware tray type thing, right? And put your different size strips for that log cabin in that. You don't have to have, some people do a Ziploc bag. Everything that's 2.5-inch a strip for a log cabin quilt, they've got a Ziploc bag they've got one for each size that the log cabin uses, and that's how they store it. That's how they're storing those scraps. So yeah, and you can do
like, what if I need that corner of that scrap? I have a scrap problem. This is a problem I need to deal with God. This has nothing to do with the AccuQuilt at this point. This is like, Chantal, go to therapy, get over the fact that the scrap has other corners on it, cut it into a square and use it. That's a me problem.
Yeah, I save anything
that's
if I can make 1.5 inch square out of something, I keep it. That's just so I have this.
If I can make a hexie out of it, done.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm giving myself a hexie break, by the way.
Yeah, you're in the hexie break.
The 5-inch actually has the right size square for a hexie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so the
2.5. It's a little bit small, just a little bit smaller. So
I have 2.5 squares right here. Funny enough,
my 1-inch hexie. So it's just a little bit bigger than that. So I don't know if it's a 2-inch or 2.5. It might be 2.5.
I like to use the 2.5 for my hexies, and I don't cut off my edges, which appalled some of my very precise friends here.
Yes, no, it's not appalled. It's just like, okay, so she doesn't cut off her edges. I recently purchased a 1-inch hexie die cut so that I can get them absolutely perfect in the center, so I can do, because I can't do this without this.
Yes,
and
can.
So I can't.
Yes, you can.
So this is what I need to do to make this.
Then again, I have this entire machine, and you accurately cut all your quilts. So
this is true. If I'm not live on the internet,
right answer. There's just right for you.
Yeah.
But with a die that has the hexie, how would you be able to do your precision, your fussy cutting with that?
This is why I don't use it for
right.
You could still do it. There's a way to do it. You would just take a piece of cardboard or whatever that's your shape, like say it's your just a thin, very thin, or even a piece of paper with that same exact cutout, and lay that out on your fabric, and then just lay your fabric, you could there's a way to line it up. You can fussy cut with that still. It's just a little bit more work.
It sounds like it's easier just to do it old-fashioned way, like Stephanie's doing it.
But also,
I don't mind having the squares and then moving my hexie around to where I can baste it at the perfect spot. But I actually do not have their English paper piecing kit, and that, like,
I have those. I have those.
Yeah, I've just sat here like doing all of this stuff, and I don't. It doesn't have enough seam allowance for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I guess a 3/8.
It's giving you that 1/4 inch seam allowance, and you can also use, like, they have like half hexies in that. So like you can.
Oh, I do have some of that in the bigger sizes.
Yeah, so you can. Yeah, it depends on what you need. I would just start off with just an 8-inch cube.
In the bigger sizes, where I'm going to machine make a hexie quilt, because I've actually started a big hexie quilt with big scraps. So I have the big hexies, And
That's
then I
good.
have like larger half hexies and things like that I can use, but that's
Make
for
them
my
easy to sew
machine.
with.
And I
Mhm.
like these because they have their little notches. I know that I'm getting right in those spots. I'm going to get good Y seams. Whereas if I were cutting this big of a hexie, I mean, this is quite large. Like,
Yeah.
Well, and
there's
it's
my hand.
full on the bias. So
What-
that's going to
all
be hard.
there's just to
What
be
is-
able to get something that accurate, that big. But it's turned out pretty cool, and it's just kind of haphazard so far. But this is something that I couldn't do essentially without a die cutting machine in any sort of accuracy.
What
Will a
size
10
is
inch
that?
from a layer cake fit on that one?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like
feel
they have
like
the
Chantel
bulletproof
made-
one. Go ahead.
It was a little bit bigger hexie from Liberty of London, your pillows.
Yeah, I have
I
some
feel
of that
like
over
you
here.
could absolutely cut that size out of there as well.
Mm.
Yeah, they have kind of these medium size hexies and things like that you can use for sewing. This is all EPP, and I cut all these pieces out. Well, Steph was there at the airport
On the floor.
on the floor
On the
of
floor at
airport
Heathrow.
in London. So these are all hand cut.
Us quilters will cut them anywhere.
Oh my gosh, and they're like, you got scissors there? I was like, they are under 4 inches. They were literally like kids' scissors. I was cutting these pieces out.
And then I happen to have like some of these available. And she's like, you
want
have
glue
them?
sticks?
And I was like, I will never go through these. Just take them. And now I bought replacement because you got me hooked, Chantel.
I'm
hooked
sorry, but like
officially.
I have a whole bunch. I just found a place having a sale, 99 cents for 2 of them.
Where?
What? Where?
And are they still on sale?
My favorite quilt store, they've gotten to the point where they call me before they have a sale.
That's hilarious.
I found
Got
those.
inside connections, yeah.
It's called Homestead Hearth, and I highly suggest you look them up. They're a great set of women that run that store. They're trying to do mostly online only now. And
Okay.
I mean, I buy bolts from them. Such a good
Mm.
deal. Such a good deal. They have really, really good stuff. Most of my stash back there is from them. They're in Missouri, but it's Homestead Hearth. And
I wonder where
they
they're
just
at.
they're Mexico, Missouri, if there could be such a place.
really?
It's a map dot, it's just like a little small town. It was close to Columbia, Missouri. And they had a whole bunch of sew line stuff, and they sold all those glue sticks 99 cents a packet.
I need some of those.
Yeah, well, I owe you, so
You owe me one packet.
I owe you some.
Oh, they're 2 hours.
I'll save one
from
for
me.
you.
There you go.
They're only 2 hours from me.
Road trip.
Road
Yeah,
There you
trip.
go.
They're
Well,
2
actually, I
hours
don't
from
know if
me.
they're open during the week anymore. I think they're just kind of like they're trying to do online.
Online, right?
Yeah.
It's so
And,
much
Missouri-
easier.
they do
because
have
quilt-
really good stuff, but the layout of the website's still a little cranky in my opinion. But if you go to
Mhm.
catalog
Right.
and then you go down to an online blowout, that's what they call their sales section.
Okay. All
Worth
right.
it. They'll have yardage for $3.99 a yard of like Allison glass. It's very hard for me to turn
Really?
down. Yes.
Oh man. I
got a whole
not.
bunch of Ruby Star the other day for hardly any. This is why they call me though, because they're like, here's an easy $400.
Yeah.
Let's just
Well,
let
let me
her
tell
know.
you though, it's very, very possible to go broke buying stuff on sale. And ask
Oh
me,
yes.
I know.
Oh yeah, because you buy more. Yeah.
You just buy more. But I'm trying to.
I'm a very
trying not to-
fortunate person in that, we do fine. My husband's in medicine, so we're fine. But yes, it is easy to go broke, buying a good sale. I agree too. I have to tell myself no sometimes. But when glue sticks are 99 cents for 2 of them, you can't say no to that.
No.
Yeah.
And when
this is a really
Allison
good deal.
glass goes $3.99 a yard, you can't say no to that.
Oh my
Right,
God.
and-
You can if your husband's like, come on, Stephanie.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
and
I mean, if you're gonna get murdered,
I
then
get-
yeah,
I mean,
then
not
it's not a
that.
good plan.
I get so spoiled at buying stuff on sale that I refuse to buy something full price. right? It's like
Yeah.
I know I
Oh,
can get
that's
that somewhere else cheaper.
you
So
got a Midwest
I like
heart,
free
Donna.
shipping.
Yeah.
I
You
like
got
free
it.
shipping.
Oh, I love free shipping. I'm a
And
sucker
I'll
for
go
free
on.
shipping too, and I will buy the extra $30 of
That's
stuff to
right.
get the free shipping that should have been $7.
Yes,
Well,
I do
you
that
know
all the
what?
time. You go on, you buy one thing, and then you buy 5 just to get the free shipping. I do that all the time.
Or just to get a free item. My husband had an uncle. He owned a gas station, and he was talking about how, you know, they would do these your air conditioner check, right, for your automobile. And this was probably back in the 70s or 80s, right, long time ago. And he said, you know, with that checkup, you will get a free can of a refrigerant or whatever it's called. I forget, and I want to say antifreeze, and I know that's not right, but anyway. And he said, you know, that was like a 50 cent or 75 cent item. And he said people would line up, and they, you know, it's the same thing. You know, you tell somebody, if you come
Weird.
in and you do this, I'm going to give you a free pencil. They're going to be wanting that free pencil. If you forget
It's
to
true.
give them,
Yeah.
they want that free pencil. And all you
Yeah.
have to do is say, you're going to get a little something free. And people just eat it up. It's like,
We'll
I
do
know.
things
Doesn't
for a
matter what they
sticker.
spend
And
or
it's-
how much it is.
yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a 3 cent item. Yeah, they want that pencil, right? They kick them in there. They gotta
That is
have
so
that.
true.
So crazy.
Yeah.
It's true. The
Oh,
things we'll do for a sticker or for a pizza
Yeah.
party at work, it's like, you've done great work. You've made us millions of dollars for this company. Free
Here's the-
pizza. And you're like, that is literally a $5 value. Thank you.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh.
see,
Yeah,
when
so
we were
funny.
doing well at Quilt Addicts Anonymous, whenever we beat our sales goal, everybody got bonuses. From
Yeah.
me all the way down to the people who folded the fabric.
Are you
So
are you
that's the
like-
kind of boss I
gonna-
was.
That's
Are you
that's
gonna-
companies I want to work for. You know, I worked
Yeah.
for a big steel mill, and like
Mhm.
we're talking millions and millions and millions of
Mhm.
dollars. Like if the machines go down, everybody is scrambling, working their tails off, because
Mhm.
that's millions and millions. You know, they would come around. They had come around at different times. They would say, "Oh, here's a watch, nice Timex watch. We did excellent on this or that." I've had them come around and physically hand you a $500 because ROA or ROI, you know, which is return on investment.
ROI. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was either or. Whatever was better, that's how they did it, right? Whether it was return on assets or return on investments. If they had good, they come around and give every employee. We had over 800 and something employees that got $500 cash that day. You know, that's
Wow.
just how they were. We got turkey, turkey cookers, big coolers that were the what's the one? I can't think of the name of it.
Coleman?
No, not Coleman. The
Igloo?
top of the line. What?
Igloo?
No.
Or like the Yeti ones, like the big.
Yeti. They give us a big Yeti cooler that was probably as wide as the back end of my pickup truck, right? Like
Wow.
they would
Those are
just
so
do stuff like
expensive.
that. They would do that stuff all the time. You know, they gave us like if we had good safety records, like if our department, you know, had a long safety record, you've hit another whatever, or you've shipped out, when I was in shipping, we've shipped out so many tons and that was a new record. We would get something, right? Like something nice.
That's
Yes.
the way to run a company.
It's
That's
true.
when you don't have large turnarounds or anything, because people feel appreciated.
Well,
You know?
also they didn't have, like, there was no differential treatment for anyone. Like there was no parking space for the CEO. Like he got there and he parked where he could park, right? Because everybody was treated the same. The only difference in our hard hats at the mill were maintenance, because like I said, every second that they go down, that's money. They're losing money when they're not running. And so we had to know who the maintenance people were so that you could, you know, get them, find them, holler at them, whatever, right? Maintenance had a different hat. Everybody else's hat was green. CEOs, office workers, whatever, because even office workers at times would go into the mill, or they would go out into the warehouse to get something that they needed, right? Supplies or whatever. And so that company, Dan D'Amico, awesome man. And if he met you one time, he
remembered you.
He spoke to you. He knew you. He knew your family. He knew your kids.
Wow.
He knew what they were involved in. This person was like, it was awesome. Like, okay, he met me one time. He knew exactly who I was. He knew what I looked like. He knew how many kids I had, He knew my husband's name, right?
Nobody treats workers like that anymore. I worked at Sears, and when I came in, I was making more than people that had worked there for years that definitely deserved to be making a lot more. And well, now look at Sears. I mean, they just demolished the building that I worked in because they treated, it was a beautiful campus. But they didn't value, well, I shouldn't say they in a broad aspect, but the company values did not value the individual, although the managers that I had and the people that I worked directly with were
there's
wonderful
always
people.
A big distinction between shareholder goals and on the ground goals. Like, for example, this week there's a huge issue locally about there being way too many pets. There's 500 pets in my county shelter. And I wanted to come out of journalism retirement to do a really good story on it. And they can't pay me right now because it's the end of their fiscal year. And so they can't pay anybody to do anything extra until, October 1, when everything starts over. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, it's a totally different thing. Like boots on the ground versus corporate goals, and boots on the ground
we got on a big tangent here.
We did. We probably should pull it back. We have people asking
like what's going on?
What we're working on. I'm wrapping up my 4th quilt book. And I keep saying I'm wrapping up my 4th quilt book, but I really actually have to have it done Tuesday morning.
So by wrapping up, she means writing an entire book by Tuesday. No, I'm kidding.
Half of an entire book.
Oh, I'm sorry, half.
I already have half of it done from my midpoint deadline.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah,
she's gonna get it done. Stephanie loves a deadline, and she always manages.
I work really well on one. I have the biggest
that way.
I have the biggest to-do list right now, and I have goals of what I would need to get done each day, and I've been pretty good about it, but I am really at a point where I'm just like tired. Like I literally have filmed like 4 months worth of content in the last 2 weeks just in doing tutorials for this book. And I don't know when they're going to come out because the book isn't actually due to come out until like March, but I know pre-sales are a big thing in the publishing industry. So I'll have to have that conversation like when I had the mental capacity to have it, and I've turned all
not by Tuesday.
Not right now. But it's just like logistically, I hate having like a million things going at once. Hate it. But there's just no way, because I procrastinated too much. There's no way to do that right now. I procrastinated way too much on this, and now I have to do all the things all at one time. So
that's when you end up staying up the whole week of whatever the day.
I have not been doing that.
This will be Labor Day weekend for sure. Lots of labor.
Pretty much, yeah. But
long days.
A labor of love.
It's going to be awesome, though. We've seen some of the projects coming up, and you were working on your placemats there. It's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, it's called the Panel Quilt Workshop. And so it's kind of like, it's pressure because it's supposed to kind of call back to my Fat Quarter workshop book that did really, really well and is still a bestseller on Amazon in the quilts and quilt category. It's like in the top.
And it's a really pretty cover.
It is a really pretty cover.
Did that.
That was mine. Yeah, that was my book. And there's like, I think it's almost at like 30,000 sales.
Wow.
So they're
Wow.
really hoping that this one does it too, because it's like a play on the title. And I could
Mhm.
see them wanting to do like a jelly roll workshop or
that would be
something
cool.
like that going forward.
Okay, but you have to hide pictures of your dog in the Jelly Roll workshop
I
because your
do
dog's name is Jelly
absolutely
Roll.
need to have jelly roll in the jelly roll workshop.
Jelly Roll
if
is
that's a thing.
totally a jelly roll too, if you guys haven't seen her dog.
She's a 70-pound basset hound.
Oh my God.
Very roly-poly.
She's very low to the ground, very
Yes.
Jelly Roll.
And we call her Jealous Jelly because if we petting any other dog, she can not handle that.
Well,
So
she complains. Oh, I
Yeah.
hear her on the phone.
So at this point, I'm literally about to sew together and press and prep for 3 different bindings. I've got one already prepped. And I'm
You
actually
need
in really
help.
good
I
shape.
don't want to do what I'm required to do this weekend.
I would invite you out because my house is actually clean except for my sewing space because there's projects everywhere. But
We know how that works. I mean, there is no such
But
thing as a
I
clean sewing
killed-
space.
like 3 large crawly bugs in here, like within the last couple of days.
Don't beg me to
And-
come.
Yeah, no. So I don't know that you want to be here. One of them I had to call my husband to come help me with because I couldn't get close enough to it. And the other one I was on camera by myself. And so that'll be in a blooper reel at some point of me flipping out because there's a spider under my cutting mat and it was green blood. And so someday y'all will see that one. But at this point I'm kind of like giving myself like little like mental breaks because I feel like I need them at this point because I'm like tired and my back hurts so bad and I have
Oof.
a massage scheduled, so it'll be fine. But I'm
She's gonna get beat up by the massage therapist.
I prefer
She
to be
likes
beat
that.
up, yes, by the massage therapist. It's pretty fantastic, I think.
Actually, we haven't asked Gwendolyn what projects she's up to.
Yeah, what are you doing? I'm doing like 7 at one time, so we don't need to get into
You
the
don't like
details.
to do that either. You like to have your one project and done, one project and done.
I do, very much so. Or like being able to like pack it up in a bin and put it away until I want to get it out again.
Yeah, put it in the corner like Gwendolyn had with her Halloween quilt. She put it in the corner. She was having a break. Oh,
Ooh, is that all your Halloween fabric?
Well, this is some that just came in. I ordered a bundle off. Sorry, I'm not feeling well. I have a tooth thing, so I know my sinuses are
oh, you're fine.
all backed up. So sorry.
You can't get us sick, so we're fine.
Yeah, I know.
This is true.
I just sound weird. I sound like I'm in a fish tank. But so in this
That's a good way to
bundle,
explain it.
the bundle that I got, look, oh my gosh, they're not even Halloween, but I'm so excited about it because
Oh, you got some spirit animals.
Ooh, I have
Look
some
at
of
that.
that still.
and I do not have that Tula.
Oh,
And
that's a
then
good one.
this one
Oh, that's old.
as well.
I have that one too.
What
And
is
it was
that
just-
from?
It was
I have a lot.
I got it on eBay and it was $20 for the scrap bundle. Well, I bought it because there was some really cool Halloween fabric in there. I'll show you in a minute. But they had these 2 in there, so I was super excited because I don't.
More
I
than
don't
$20
know.
worth right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and stuff. So here's some of the Halloween, which of
Oh,
course,
cute.
I'm still doing the right.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Do you see behind me at my
Oh, that's
chair?
gonna be adorable for Fussy
My
petting.
chair over here is just covered in
Ooh.
Halloween fabric for
Look-
you. I
look at
really
these
like this one. I hope you like it.
that is
witches.
so cute.
The cute little witches, and then
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the little
Spider
spider
web.
webs, and there's some that are not Halloween, but some of them
Oh, I love that one.
I think they're older. Oh, and I
That
love
one
this.
is a ruby star. The last one was. Oh, candy corn. But
Oh,
a good
that's
candy
cute.
corn.
But they make little flowers, so they're so cute. Let's see. We got
We're going to be doing Halloween for 3 years, Gwendolyn.
for sure, 100%.
We're going to have to move on to a different holiday after that.
Well, my
Oh,
husband's
that's
like,
cute.
he goes, "Are you really, going to do Halloween all the way up till Christmas?" He goes, "Do you think you
I
should
don't
pull out
think
your
we
Christmas
stop
stuff?"
Halloween.
Mm.
So I've started pulling out my Christmas stuff, thinking, maybe I should start a Christmas project.
It's a nightmare before Christmas kind of year.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
then-
cute.
I mean, some of these I've never seen, and so I don't know if they're a quilt shop or not. But most of them have on here that the names of, and so it doesn't look like they're big box store. But I'm not afraid of either. I mean, I'm usually not a fabric snob. I can use them either way.
This
Oh,
is
that's
tulip
cute.
pink.
I think this is cute.
Which
And
one
then-
was? Sorry, somebody said it's tulip pink.
Oh no, I have tulip
Spirit
pink.
animal being called.
Um,
And these
That's
little hats
for
are
a
so
quilt.
That's cute.
adorable. So yeah, so
And-
I was just sitting here going through my my little, scrap bundle, because it's really all it is scrap. I think most of them are fat quarter size, but they call
And
it
you said
fat-
eBay?
yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty
Oh,
good.
I see. Oh, so somebody, okay, so Catherine
Ooh.
has some of the deja vu.
That's cool.
That is gonna be put on this.
And
What do we
then
got?
this one is a different one. It's not part of the same bundle, but I thought this was so cute. I could not resist, because I'm a cat lady, right?
Mhm.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Is it upside down?
I'm pro cat ladies. I like when
No,
other people have the cats.
I'm so terrible.
So do
to-
I. We can't have them because of my husband.
I'm allergic to.
I just don't want cats getting all over everything. I love cats, right? But I love them for other people to have them.
Okay, Bill.
And then the other project that I'm working on, I don't have it in front of me, but is burp cloths, of course, because
Oh yeah, you're in the deep. of
You're
it,
at
yeah.
that stage.
we are 2 weeks into Asher being born, and my daughter is that's my second grandbaby for those who might not know recent events, and she is like, "Mom, make all the things." So I feel like
I should send you some of the stuff I'm
for the last
going
2 weeks
through. What am I doing? Duh.
helping her, do everything for the baby, and
Aw.
sleep deprived, and
Oh, yeah.
she's wanting me to
Hey,
make everything,
Stephanie.
which I'm excited about to do, but
It's
It's-
still a lot.
it is a lot. And then we're her husband's getting ready to graduate from basic training for the military, so we're gonna
Already? I feel like this just happened.
I know it went
Oh my
by
gosh,
so
time
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, we are
graduation-
almost to our
graduation's
20th
in
episode. So
10 days,
that's
I think.
a while.
Really?
Yeah.
We are
10
almost to our 20th episode. And
This
we,
is
what, we
19.
missed 2?
Well,
Next week,
So
well,
almost half
3.
a year.
we lost
wow.
missed 3 or 4 because I think we didn't do like 3 weeks in a row when we were gone. Although
Oh,
we
well,
just
okay.
totally cut off Gwendolyn. So go
No,
ahead.
that's fine.
Gwendolyn.
You're good. You're good.
Gwendolyn understands. She's
Yeah.
on our tangents with us. She rides that
yeah.
boat.
We are all talkers. If
Yes.
We
you hadn't
are.
noticed.
But yeah,
No.
That's what makes
that
it
goes
so
quite
fun.
fast.
It does go by fast, and it does seem like it was just yesterday when you started doing all the lives, Stephanie. But
Yeah.
so graduation is in 10 days, I think. So we're going to be traveling for that. So traveling with 2 littles, that'll be
Oh
something
my
new.
God.
I know you
Mhm.
experienced
Good
mama
luck.
did that, but I only had one, so when my daughter was little, I didn't have a carpool full. So that'll be interesting to be doing that.
Interesting.
I
just
traveled with a 6-week-old in a car on a long road trip once, and that was not fun.
Oh,
It
I
took
just-
a very, very long time. Leave
I
yourself
told-
plenty of time.
I told my husband, I said, I feel like, in 3 or 4 weeks, I need a me vacation where I can just go somewhere by myself and sleep for a week.
Yeah.
Don't
I,
come to my
check
house
into a
then. Never
hotel.
mind.
it's my favorite thing right now is getting to sleep,
This is why my husband and I literally took a vacation at Disney by ourselves. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
we need to do something that's fun enough to keep us alive and awake.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't just sleep at a hotel for 3 days and then come home. So we went to
So-
Disney by ourselves.
I don't know how you felt about this, but like, Chantel and I are very much in the midst of, the mommy running around constantly. I started a time,
The
I have a thing
taxi.
where I like track my time when I do freelance work. And I started one this evening for when I am solo parenting and my husband is at work. And Friday alone, I just got 5 hours. And tomorrow it's probably going to be like 12. And the idea of
I
just
don't even wanna
going
know.
somewhere, which we got to do last week, and having no agenda and no kids to like usher here, there, and the other place,
Mm-hmm.
like obviously I don't want to rush through these trips because I love my kids. And even though the
Right.
days are long, like I want to
Right.
enjoy them because I
Right.
know that it's going to go fast. But the idea of at some point there being a time when like we can wake up when we want to and have no agenda and do what we want to do. Like, oh my
We were
gosh.
able to like fly off the cuff and
Yeah.
and it wasn't like we were listening to the unreasonable opinions of little people that just have agendas that you can't deviate from that. They have
Or like YouTube Kids is constantly going in the background because it's the only way you can keep the peace.
I
And
didn't watch Bluey for several days.
oh my God.
I
How
still
did you
dressed up
survive?
as Chili though at Halloween for the Halloween thing. And John
That's
was
funny.
Bandit from Bluey, which
That's
was great.
hilarious.
All the little kids loved us. But they weren't our
I
kids.
bet they did. They were.
Oh, it's better when they're not your kids because then you can leave it.
You're
and
like,
be
oh, they're
Yeah.
so cute. Look at them madly going. They're bye. Bye.
Hey, Stephanie, I have an option for you. I don't know if you want to do it or not. You can have this for free if you want to get it fixed. I'll give you all the pieces that I have. Do it. But I don't know if you have somebody that can help you with that.
I do. We have someone who has like every single singer manual going back to like
that's
the
true.
beginning of time.
Okay.
It was so cool to see in the back of the shop.
But yeah, because it's got it's not in perfect shape, obviously. It's got a lot of well, it's been used.
It's been loved.
It's
It's
been
all
loved,
good.
but yeah, because it just needs someone to
Love it.
just love it and just
Gotta
maintenance.
adopt it.
Maintenance. And I've got a new rubber wheel for the bobbin. I've got like I said, for that one thing that's kind of crooked, I've got a new one of those. I've got the pin for the handle. I've got a couple other things. So
Well,
if
you've
you
got
want-
my email, right?
It
I'm
goes
not
directly
sure.
to her if you have the quilt
Yeah.
addicts.
Stephanie at quiltaddictsanonymous.com.
Okay. Okay.
Just shoot me an email and we'll chat offline.
Okay. I will do that.
I will not reply to you until at least Tuesday
Oh, that's fine.
when this book
Probably
deadline is done.
Wednesday.
That's fine because every Monday and Tuesday, I there's a shop down the street from me, and they allow you open sew from
Ooh.
9 to 5 for $10 for the day.
That sounds fun.
It is.
We
fun.
had a shop in town that did that, and literally a month and a half after I moved here,
Mhm.
they closed the shop.
Oh no,
Aw.
mine.
I was like,
That's sad.
no, it's
this
not because they're at a quilt shop.
is.
I mean,
like,
the town is nice too, but womp
like
womp.
literally 3 minutes from my house.
My nearest quilt shop is not that near. It's kind of a bummer.
Actually,
That one that you were not so enthused about, I really
No,
they
no,
have
I
quite a
like
bit of
that
modern.
one.
Yeah,
But it's not like particularly close. If I need
Mm.
something, it's definitely my
that's true.
my first choice.
Oh, I
And
drove 40 minutes round trip today because that's my closest now. Isn't that crazy?
Hmm.
wow.
I mean, I have so much stash at this point. If I have to drive somewhere, I've got a
I
problem.
needed like interfacing basically.
So this weekend, the North Carolina shop hop starts, and we're going up to Raleigh this weekend. We bought 2 new recliners from Rooms to Go. They were Lazy Boy ones, and in 2 weeks they've had to come out and replace them twice. So
Oh my goodness.
What?
You're not having good
I know.
luck.
So we're like, what we're considering doing is just returning these and going straight through Lazy Boy, because
I would.
we think that these are kind of like, not knockoffs, but you know how like
They're like seconds.
yeah like that,
Aftermarket.
right? So the showroom is up in Raleigh, and so I told my husband, well, if we're going up there to look at recliners and furniture and whatever, yeah, I have to go to a couple of quilt stores because they're doing the shop
Of course.
right? So yeah, I think
Every reasonable quilter would say yes.
absolutely. So I'm gonna be doing a little bit of that this weekend. And so I'm kind of hoping Carrie Quilt Company, they always have a really good clearance section, and she always has lots of Halloween in her clearance section.
Yay!
So I'm hoping that I have some good selection of things.
You
I need
are
to start
so
cutting this
obsessed.
extra Halloween. We are so obsessed. It is
It is
Gwendolyn
a
and I are
problem.
stuck together for at least the next 3 years
For
trying to do
sure.
this.
Well,
We're-
so did you end up at any quilt shops while you were down in Florida or no?
I did not, but I did
What?
end up with the quilty ears from Vera Bradley, which is as close to non-quilt store quilty as you're probably gonna get, really. I was very, 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 very excited about these. If you look at this fabric,
Those are so cute.
let's see, over here,
Oh,
it actually has hidden Mickeys in it.
That is
really?
cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it has like the hidden Mickeys in it, and they had bags and stuff that had the Mickeys. And
They're so
but I was like,
clever with
oh,
their
what
Mickey.
ears would represent me the best? Duh, quilty ears. And I
So-
didn't have to make them.
She texts me like the night before she goes, like, oh my gosh, I hope I can find these down there. And I'm like, so you're not gonna just overnight it to the hotel? And she's like, no,
considered
I'm
it.
just gonna hope I find it. And I'm like, okay, good luck.
That's why I'm
You
wearing them
did.
the entire show. I paid for these babies, and I was excited. When I got them,
Considered
I
my
sent her a
shark blanket.
picture immediately. Should probably show that picture. I was so excited. She's like, "You look so happy." I mean, I was glowing. I got my
You're
ears.
gonna
Bring
have
the
to
kids back
pull
any
it up.
souvenirs?
Yes, we got ears for each one of the kids. So Penny, our littlest one, she got ones that have Elsa on one ear and Anna on the other. Hazel got pineapples for their Dole Whip. So it has pineapples for the ears
Aw.
and a green glitter bow and then a little Dole Whip in between. And
Okay.
then my son got a Nightmare Before Christmas, like Jack Skellington.
Love it.
And then like the skulls on the other side. And then Jack has a Christmas hat, and it actually bends. Like you can like twirl the hat. So, and then the other side, it shows like Scary Jack with the hat or whatever. And the hat sits on top of it. They're really cute.
We
So
are
that
big
was-
Nightmare
and that was
Before Christmas
basically it.
fans.
Yeah. And we
Oh.
figured for him, like it's a dual holiday adventure. I mean, he's 9, so he's getting older. He's not going to just like wear these for any reason, but come the
Mhm.
holidays when they're allowed to wear Christmas hats, done.
Yeah.
There you
Nightmare, that's the great thing about Before Christmas is it's actually a dual holiday. It's Halloween.
Yeah, that's
and
why we
Christmas.
should put up our Christmas trees before October, and I'm totally for that. I know everybody's going to disagree. I'm going to
game.
put a big sheet over it and make it into a ghost, but I
You
make
know,
at least 3
apparently-
Christmas trees.
I have
Every year.
Apparently,
ready to
there are
go.
Halloween trees at the garden center right now. And I
Done.
might be staging a Halloween tote,
Ooh.
which, by the way, let me get this because this turned out so cute. Let me go grab.
My
So,
dear,
we
I'm
gotta-
gonna-
I had hit up a thrift store at the retreat that I went to over the
Mhm.
summer, and I found it's not a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, but it's kind of similar. You
Yeah,
know,
a little
one of the
bony.
small, thinner ones, right? About 3
Mhm.
feet. And I got it for $10, and so it's
Cool.
out already. All I have to do is clean it up and stuff, and then I'm good to go for a Halloween tree. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
So-
I do at least 3
Oh,
Christmas trees
Stephanie.
every year. And
That is so
I went-
cute.
Here. So
oh, cute.
this is a tote. This was a panel from Free Spirit, and it's huge. And so like I can fit my laptop in
It
this
looks
and a bunch
big.
of stuff. But it's like
Mhm.
super sturdy, and there's fusible fleece on the outside, so it's nice and soft. And it like this corner, it's just kind of holding. There's nothing in it. And then I use SF 101 on the inside just to give it a little more stability.
Which is shape
and-
flexed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And
You mean to tell me
I-
that it's not a trick or treat bag for your children?
well, it is. Like I was specifically told
It's
to
for
make
her.
a trick or treat bag, but I cannot just do one thing, because for me, like to be like, you can only make a trick or treat bag from this pattern is like so boring. So
Gotta
like,
have a
you could-
twist.
You could totally like do this and have it be like your like replace your canvas tote, basically.
Is
Yeah.
this for your
And
book? Did you make that?
It's for the book, yeah.
Now,
but
are they going to
apparently-
have that available though when the book comes out for sale for everybody who's going to want that panel?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Because
We're
books
gonna
are
have to
so
find her.
far
We
ahead.
better get ahead on that.
I know. Books are so far ahead. It's like really crazy. Really crazy with that. And then sometimes we'll get delayed for whatever reason. But thank you, Suzanne. But it was really very easy. It took like 2 hours total. The hardest part was I should have maybe like lightened up on the fusible fleece for the handles. Because
But
this
I
just
love a good strong handle.
you
Yeah, me
just had
too.
to like slow down when you went over it. And then I went over everything twice. But like it's just a double fold hem.
Oh, let's
like,
see
you
the
don't-
inside.
Oh, it's I saved some of these. I already did
It's
That's
so
so
funny.
out of
cute.
it.
It looks like tea.
It looks like candy corn teeth.
No, yeah,
Like-
it's so cute.
like
But here
because
I already have hexies out of those, so let me pull them out for you.
on
so
the
proud of you.
screen when you opened it up, it looks like shark teeth. You know.
It does.
Ah,
So there's all these little pumpkins on the handles. So I cut all their little faces out. And
I'm so
then
proud of you.
Aw.
it's got like all the little things. There's that one's a witch. And then there's a ghost.
That is the
peeking
perfect little
out.
fussy cut for your 1-inch hexies.
I know this, and then I did a couple that were just plain,
You gotta have
And-
some of them.
and a little pumpkin. So I've been very much enjoying. Like this has been like my wine. This one looks like a candy corn. My wind down thing at the end of the night, where I like mess with it, and then all the pumpkins like have
Oh,
different
it's cute.
faces on
That's
them.
so cute.
Very cute.
So it's been fun, and it's been a good like wind
It's your
down.
little dopamine
Like at the end
hit
of the
at
day.
the end of getting something done.
Yeah, so that's like my fun thing. But I'm really loving this like container for
Where's
stuff.
the container from?
Amazon. I'll find the affiliate link and put it out.
Yeah,
But
even if
I
it's for
like-
next week, it fits them
Well,
perfectly.
I think what I'm going to do is an actual honest to God YouTube video on this and
You
get that out.
should, because remember, I
put-
left mine behind in England because it
did.
was so crappy. We were at the point
This
when we
is
were coming
fabulous.
home that we bought so much fabric that we were starting
It
to make
didn't fit.
real life decisions about what was coming home. Okay.
She
And
left
so
a pair
I
of
left
shoes.
2 pairs of shoes.
What?
Yep.
I'm not even kidding. I bought the shoes at a thrift store, to be fair. They were in great condition, knowing that I was going to buy so much fabric at Liberty of London that they were going to be left behind. So I paid $3 a pair of these shoes, okay? They were wonderful shoes for the trip, but I knew that they were being,
And
yeah.
she's like, do you want these? I'm like, no,
I would
don't
have
I
just
can't
shoved
fit them
everything in a
either.
box and shipped it through
We
the,
had
with
to
the
leave
mail.
it behind. And then my box that had my hexies in it was never really that functional, but it worked. It got left behind. There was
Yeah.
like, throw it in a baggie. We have no room for this. We have
Well,
Liberty
and like
now.
we were given some like fabric back quarters that were like not us, and we were like,
We had to make the
you
decision.
have to stay. You have to stay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, you
don't get to
can't
come
cross
home.
you can't cross the ocean with us.
Why didn't you guys just mail them?
Oh,
'Cause
because
they're
it was not worth
Why
it.
We were
And
not.
we were in
yeah,
the
no.
last minute.
Like
You have no
literally,
idea how packed those bags were. We were
was.
at, I mean, Stephanie was moving stuff over at the airport to try to get
I
to the
had
right limit of
no, and a TSA dude made me cry at
True.
United Airlines in what town were we in? Boston.
We were in Boston.
Yes. And they had given me, first of all, terrible
I wasn't there to totally
effing
yell at them.
directions. Total
Really?
terrible effing directions on how to get to the right
Oh.
gate. Because we had different flights at that point because we were going to different locations. So we flew across the ocean together and then we had to split up. And so I'm like traveling outside of the damn airport to like
She has
get to
3
where I'm at.
bags because
With
we
3
had
giant bags. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm sweaty and I'm gross. And I finally get there. And we had flown JetBlue over and they
and we
have
had barely
where they
slept.
well, they can give like a grace period or a grace amount for your weight. So they had done that on the way over. So then I get to United and I'm over. And this guy is being an absolute jerk about it.
He is
And
on his
I
high
ended up-
horse that day.
I ended
apparently.
up on the ground crying, pulling out all of my underpants and Spanx in front of everybody in the
my
entire checked area, transferring them from
God.
one bag to another. They're still going on the damn plane. There's just as much weight going on the damn plane. But
Oh.
it just like I have, and they're all dirty. Every single one of them are dirty.
She,
It's
I
like, oh my God. I did film a video of myself
It
afterwards
was
talking
worthy
about
of
it.
getting rid of the shoes.
Yeah.
To not have to air my underpants per
I
se.
can't imagine.
It was so bad.
oh,
So
no,
bad.
I cannot.
It was
imagine.
rough.
It was
Cry
yeah.
at the drop of a hat, especially.
Well, I'm not
situations
normally a
like
And
that.
she's
crier.
not one to do that at all.
No.
But it was one of those situations where it's like, I'm done. I'm
Like,
tired.
I hadn't
I
slept.
was
I was
fine
so
up
tired.
until this point. You're on your high horse. You're being a jerk. All of this stuff is getting checked. All of it's going on the same plane. Why are you picking on me right now?
Exactly.
And
Well, and he was
and
like that
even
with
the other
everyone.
people that were working there, you said were very like,
They knew exactly who I was talking about when I was trying to go find someone to talk to about it. Exactly.
And you were alone on top of it, so it's not like you had somebody there
no,
to help
that's
you.
part
or
of the reason I think
supportive.
that
Yeah.
he chose her
Well,
is that
he
she was an easy
also-
target.
He also was a giant jerk to a lot of immigrants that were coming in.
Oh.
So a lot of folks with not white skin, he was a jerk to,
Oh.
and then me as a woman. And I'm just
That's
like,
awful.
and
And
these are
everybody knew
people
who
who
we
are
were talking
coming
about.
in. You can tell for sure that English is not their first language,
Yeah.
and so they're not totally understanding. And it's just like
Ugh.
he was a jerk.
Oh man, if I would have
liked-
been there.
He
Mm.
liked being
He probably
in
doesn't
charge.
have his. He probably no longer has a job there.
So were
I
you
bet he
able to
does.
talk to somebody
I-
like in authority to get it
So-
straightened out?
He was in
There
charge
is-
at that area, apparently.
He was in charge of that area. I went and talked to customer service, and I was told that there's no disciplinary action that can be taken on at the location. So I did
Wow.
email, and I never got a response back. So I'm sure he's still being a jerk to other people.
How
And I
can you-
decided not to put him on blast on the entire internet because I didn't want to be that person.
There
But
might
I
be an
certainly
episode
could have.
where I mention his name if you want to go back and find
No,
out. who
we
this
I feel
is.
like I
need to
remember
do it.
that.
I'm just saying, I'm glad I don't remember it.
Oh yeah, I remember it. I still have my video of me talking about it from the airport, but I decided that 150,000
You're the-
people don't need to put him on
When they go
blast.
low, we
Yeah.
go high.
You're better for it. Take the high road. for
I
sure.
guess I don't know.
Okay, but you said you
I had
flew
been through away the
JetBlue.
shoes.
That's not, I'm curious about this because
It was wonderful.
something recently came up. My husband had said a friend of ours gets JetBlue flights from North Carolina to Florida for $50. And I'm like, what? And I said, I thought that they were like an elite, like a
It's somewhere in
nicer
between, I think.
airline.
I'm not
And he-
really sure.
And he said, no. My husband said, because I thought they were like better. And he's like, no, I don't think so. So I'm curious, since you've ridden on a JetBlue.
But we
are
rode
they-
international though, so it can
Yeah.
be a little different. International, they're trying to build their reputation.
Okay.
So it was, Yeah, it was different in that manner because it was
Chantal
great.
really liked how they handled her peanut allergy.
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
I
They
mean,
did
they
a
took
really
it
good job with that.
seriously.
Yeah.
They made sure that I was not individually called out, but they were like, somebody in one of the rows nearby you has a severe peanut allergy. If you cannot, follow or maintain not eating peanut products while on this flight, we're happy to move you. And it
Yeah.
was a really great way to not be like, hey, this brat over here has a peanut allergy and you can't have your Reese's. Like, God, you have
By
no
the
idea.
way, the fact that I survived 17 days without peanuts and chocolate peanut combination, peanut butter
Yeah.
combination with you, that means I love you
She
significantly.
loves me.
Except I did eat it one time, and
That would
we were
be
sharing
hard
the
to do.
same toothpaste tube. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you got to make sure you don't get the toothpaste tube on it." And I was like, I didn't even think about that, but
I was
we all
sitting
survived.
thinking, how would I survive traveling without peanut butter and chocolate?
I
don't know.
know.
It's
Well,
kinda
they
like one
have
of my
these sun
favorite-
butter cups. So when I was at Disney, they hand out like allergy friendly candy, but they don't hand out just like crappy allergy worthy candy. They hand out the real stuff. So they have this brand called Free to Be, and they have these sun butter cups, which are free of the common like top 9 allergens or whatever. So they're like the equivalent of, and I used to be able to have peanut butter. I developed my
Right.
allergy. So I know this firsthand. And as a complete sugar bug, aka I am now diabetic, I can speak to how good Reese's are. They are like a dark chocolate version of Reese's. They make a sun butter cup that's essentially sun butter, which is what, sunflower
Sunflower
butter
seeds.
and dark chocolate. And it is that same like texture around the outside, but it's dark chocolate. It literally tastes like a dark chocolate peanut butter cup. I
Mhm.
kind of freaked out the first time I had one, between like I'm going to die and I'm going to cry, because it was like having real,
Aw.
like
Yeah.
a real Reese's again,
Yeah,
right?
you haven't been
But
able
at
to
the
have
same
them.
time, because even the texture around the, because it has little wrapper and the wrapper makes little edges, and then has like,
It
it's
gave you all the
Reese's
feels.
it did. It
Yeah.
was so good. So when I was there this weekend, I turned in my little tokens or whatever, because they don't hand out that candy right off. You have to go to like the special area or whatever if you're an allergy person. And they're like, which candies do you prefer? And I was like, honestly, this one gave me all the feels. They must have given me like $45 of these like sunflower cups. I'm not even kidding you. I have been eating them all week. I'm gonna be so good.
That was
Oh my
one of
God.
the first
I've
Well,
been eating like 5 of them a day at least, and they're big.
anybody now.
I have been recently eating pumpkin rolls because it's fall, and when fall happens, the pumpkin rolls come out, and I am addicted to those things. I love them.
I love
Love
pumpkin muffins. I love cream cheese frosting on anything.
Anything.
I love sweaters. I love fall.
Yes, fall is amazing.
I am ready for fall weather to actually arrive, because that has not happened here yet.
That's true. If I'm inside and I'm in my air conditioning, I can at least pretend by wearing a sweater, and then I
I
can go
did wear
outside and
a
swim.
sweatshirt for a video tutorial, but even that was a little much.
Oh,
Well, I'm in Texas and I'm here to tell you fall ain't here yet.
I'm sure it's not. Fall
Well,
will be there until like
Streets are
December,
getting-
right?
fall's not
Sure.
coming at all, is it?
Hey,
The
well,
days are in North
here's-
Carolina. The days are still hot, but the nights are getting cooler.
Yeah.
I can open up the window at night, and the temperatures are dropping.
You're open
so.
up the window
I can actually
temperature, and
walk
ours is very
outside
different.
today. I could actually walk outside today and didn't break a sweat before I got out to the shop to feed my horses. That was an A+, right? But I tell people, I say, the thing I like about Texas is that it has 10 months of summer, 1 month of spring, 1 month of fall, and no winter. Except
see it.
in like 2022 or 21 or whatever it was, where the February we had what we called Snowmageddon, right? Like we had everybody, a
Like
lot
it
of
snowed.
had
It was
problems.
Snowmageddon.
It was like
Right.
an anomaly.
Well, my daughter lives 7 miles from me, and her kids came to stay at my house I was actually, I left a day late to go to a retreat in Georgia, but I had to, like, it took me forever to get, like, I'm northwest of San Antonio. It took me a couple hours before I could actually leave. Well, I left my house and I was fine, like 18 miles to 1604, which is like a big loop out of San Antonio. But it took me over a good hour and a half to get out of San Antonio, right? Just to get through that, because they're not prepared for it. They don't have, they just don't have the equipment, and they're not prepared for it. So I was sitting at a stoplight by the airport on 410, and I had already came to a full stop. I had cars in front of me. I had car behind me. I had car beside me. All of a sudden, my truck just starts doing this number, and it's just sliding. It's like, I have no control over what it's doing. I was already stopped, right? And so I'm just sitting there,
salt or sand.
and it got stopped. But then after I got outside of, so we have a town that's on the east side, Seguin, off of Highway 10. So I take 10 almost all the way to Georgia. But anyway, it had sun all that day, and it was dry as a bone. So it was really crazy to be in San Antonio with so much ice and stuff. They had several roads, major highways. They were all closed. I couldn't get out, right? But so just odd stuff like that. But I love the 10 months of summer, even though it's hot. I'm from Arkansas, the northeast part of Arkansas, and up there when it's hot, it's very hot and humid. And I hear people that live in Houston, that are Houston, that live in Houston, and they're like, oh, it's so humid here and stuff. But San Antonio is in that area, and I'm in the hill country outside of that. Pretty much, even if it's 100, even if it's 105 or 6 or 7 or whatever, usually if you can get in the shade, there is a breeze, right? And back in Arkansas, it's like, no, it's just stagnant hot. You walk outside, you walk outside your house, you get in your car, and you're sopping wet,
That's how it is right now in the Midwest.
Yeah, so
it's not fun.
So it's not that bad here to me. And so I like the 10 months because I ride horses, and I can pretty much, except for like, these last couple months, it's just been so hot. I'm not an early person to get up. If I wanted to get up at 6 o'clock and go ride at 7 or 8, I could do that, right? But I'm more of a person that I can be somewhere and ready to ride at 10, right? And it's just too hot. By 10 o'clock, it's too hot to ride. It's too hot for me to get my horse ready to go. And then it's too hot for him to carry me around while I ride him. So there are a couple months that I don't ride horses because it's just too hot. It's too hot for him. And you have to also go when it's that hot, even if you do ride and it's that hot, you need to be somewhere where they have access to water, right? They gotta,
right.
You can't just go ride them for an hour and a half, even if you're just
it's not a camel.
Right. Well, and it's just not it. They're hotter than you, and they need hydration throughout that ride. Even if it's not that hot, you need to ride where there's water, right? You don't want to ride them for 2 or 3 hours and they don't have a place to get a drink. So you want to make sure that there's a place they can either get in, like at the river, like Bandera is close, not too far from me, maybe a half an hour from me. And so we go to the Bandera City Park, and there's a river there, and right now there's water in it. So the horses, they can get in and they can splash around and they can get a drink and whatever. But yeah, that's what I do like about Texas is the 10 months of summer and no winter. But
I love going down there for market because it would be like 80 degrees in October.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my gosh.
But
but the worst part about that all is too, is that at the area that I'm in the hill country, but I'm not where like things will turn, they'll go from green to brown. That's it. Like where's the fall, right? So I can travel, 30 minutes to an hour from where I live to get that fall, to get those fall colors and the changes in the trees and stuff, right? Like farther up north a little bit, around Ingram and Hunt, and in those areas, you'll get the fall colors. But when I first moved here, I went into depression because we moved in October. Everything went from green to brown, and there was no fall. I was like, what the heck, so yeah.
Okay, but Donna, what about the bugs? Do you guys have scorpions?
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh God.
I can't do scorpions.
I mean, It's
I kill scorpions quite a bit. I'll
Oh.
see them, they're not always in the house, but I will
They're
see
not
them.
always in the house.
They'll be down, sometimes they'll be downstairs or whatever. Yeah, if you're barefoot, you watch where you're going. Like,
Mm-mm.
well, and as
I-
far as like
I wear
snakes,
flip-flops year around in North Carolina, even though we do have winter. Okay,
Mhm.
I don't know. I am weird.
I am a flip flop all year long
Sideways
person too.
sometimes.
you could still do that. I mean, I normally I like to wear socks and shoes. Like, even if it's hot, I like to wear socks and shoes. I'm getting away from that. But the thing about that is then I need pedicures every month, right? Because that's hard on your feet
It's
to go
true.
barefoot.
It is.
But yeah, but you can do that. You just different there's different things that you can do to prevent so that you don't have as many scorpions.
Oh
and
no,
stuff.
I just don't like. I think as a kid, I saw some movie or something that had a
Mhm.
scorpion in somebody's shoe, and ever since then, scorpions
you
are
like
just,
can't handle it.
no.
No, people around here will tell you, oh, you better check your boots, right?
Yeah.
Before you
I
Okay.
can't do it.
it's not for a scorpion, it's for a rattlesnake or something like that.
Oh
But we
God.
haven't
See, the
had-
snake thing is where I draw the line.
and
That's
see, we've only had I think we did have one baby rattler that we found, but we also have outside dogs. And I think they just take care of what, stuff just isn't, it's not like we have them all over the place or anything like that. And we've been here, October will be 18 years. And I think I've seen 2 rattlesnakes my whole
That's not
time. You know what I mean?
that's
So
too
and
many.
Well,
and I'm in the
that's true.
country. I'm in the country. I have 7 acres where I live, so it's totally wooded, and you know what I mean, except for right where our house is. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me. Yeah,
Ugh.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
What we
not-
get used to. So
Yeah.
I'm curious what snowpocalypse means in Texas, because when we had a snowpocalypse here, it was like 24 inches in like a day and a half. And I
Mhm.
couldn't get out of my cul-de-sac. I couldn't get out of it. I had to just turn around, and I didn't even turn around. I had to back up to get back to my house because I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
turn.
Well, I lived
It
in
was-
Minnesota. When I was halfway through 5th grade through halfway of 10th grade, we lived in Minnesota. Definitely not like that, right? But we probably had about a foot of snow, but it wasn't really even all the snow, other than the snow kind of melted and then it froze, and the temperatures were so cold that people's water was frozen. People
Yeah.
were without electricity because of whatever. They had what they called rolling blackouts, and kind of what I was saying before, my daughter and her kids came to my house because I think our water was only frozen like maybe half a day or something, right? And we had electricity that entire time. Whereas at her house, it would come on, but it wouldn't even stay on 15 minutes. Well, that wasn't enough to warm the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they came and stayed here, but it was just a difference in our house is on a foundation and hers is on the lake. So she has that air up underneath her home. You know what I mean? It's like what they call
Like
it,
a
pier
crawl
beam.
space.
Yeah. Well, it's not a cross space. It's like, it's a whole level. It's a whole house level that she's above the ground.
Oh, so it's like on stilts.
She's like a
for
lifted
flooding?
house.
Well, it's not on stilts, but yeah, that kind of effect. Whereas, that air is all, so she went after that, and she's taking care of, a better insulation and things for the under part of her home. But
I didn't
so
realize Texas didn't have winter. That's so weird. So like at Christmas and stuff, do y'all like decorate with palm trees?
no,
We have to know.
So I always have a live tree ever since I met my husband. Like when I was growing up, my whole entire growing up, my mom always had a fake tree, the silver tree with the little color wheel going on and all that kind of stuff. And when I met my husband, I didn't even know this about him. And he came in one day and he had this big old Christmas tree, live Christmas tree, and put it up. And I love it. And so I have a real tree every single year. I will do without a tree if I don't have a real one, right? Like I don't do fake trees. Christmas is, I want that Christmas smell, and it gets cold, right? It's just like when we get snow, it's usually like maybe an inch or 2 or whatever, and then it's in it, and the next day it's gone, right? It's melted off or whatever. So it's just not it's not the winter like you think of, snow and ice and freezing temperatures all the time. But it gets cold. It gets cold here. And yeah, you got to have jackets to go out, and you walk out sometimes in the hairs in your nose freeze, that kind of stuff. But just not often. It's just not often. It's just not like being up north. It's just
one year
not very long.
Did a quilt show in April, and it's 45 minutes away. So it's definitely like one of those where you go home at night. And I brought extra clothes just in case. And I ended up needing them. I ended up having to stay overnight, and there were a ton of cars in the ditch on the way out. It's just a quick little drive. And when I got home, I made a snowman with my daughter in April. And I'm like, that's unusual, but it's still, it's like, it can happen. You don't put away your stuff until, Mother's Day.
In North Carolina, if we get snow, it's usually somewhere between February and April. If we do, we don't every year. I feel like maybe we get snow every 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and it's even that way where I lived in Arkansas. I was Northeast Arkansas. And even though it was really cold, you didn't always get a lot of snow. You could, and they would have, an ice storm or whatever that, people would be without power for a while, for a week or even 2 weeks, right? But it's just different. Just different.
Sylvia on the chat is also in Texas, and she says Corpus Christi Santa is a surfer, and she's in Big Bend, and it does get cold there.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess technically, Texas is big too, so maybe other parts might have a little bit different weather. I say North Carolina, where I'm more southern east side, where if you go more the northwest side, of course you get into the mountains, and so the weather's going to be different in that side of North Carolina than where
that's just like if I go north 4 hours to Dallas, they get a lot of, they get snow more often than we do. I mean, you hear, the airports being closed down and things like that, but that's 4 hours away from us. I mean, you pretty much can't get out of Texas in 4 hours from where I live. Like, you have to go at least 4 hours to get out of the state from where I'm at.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raleigh's about 40, depending on where you go up there, Raleigh, Durham, because it's a triangle, 45 minutes to an hour 15 from where I'm at. And I would say they probably get consistently snow every year, and that's only an hour north. So it definitely, is a little bit different and stuff. So
so Sylvia corrected me. She went from Texas to Alaska. So that's quite the change weather-wise.
Yeah, I think I would love having the more winter for me at this point in my life would be better, except the less amount of light would really mess with my emotions.
I agree. I feel like when I was younger, it wouldn't have bothered me, but now that I'm older, I feel like the light up in the northern hemisphere like that, it would affect my feelings.
Yes, my feelings would be like sad.
Depression.
Well, that's kind of how it was with the fall here. I had sad, what they call sad. I think it's like seasonal associated
depression. Yeah.
It's like I was actually diagnosed with that because I was sad.
Yeah.
Seasonal affective disorder. And yes, they deal with it every year. They're like, get a light,
a very real thing.
I'm like, I'm gonna go to my sewing room and turn on my ring light and just sew. And we'll call that better.
That does not work.
I try.
You have any idea how many lights I have in this damn studio?
I know, right?
God. That was terrifying to me last winter to turn that dang thing on.
So I have a question, since I know we were talking about fall and we're sort of talking about winter. Okay, so fall is associated with pumpkin and apples. If you have to pick one, are you in camp pumpkin or camp apple?
I can't pick this one.
I know, right? So hard.
Oh, I am definitely camp pumpkin.
I want the apple scent, like the apple spice scent, right?
Apples is more summer.
I like to carve pumpkins on apple. Pumpkin, like you said, your pumpkin rolls. Oh my gosh, those are delicious.
I started this during COVID, and we have continued it as a tradition that we now do every year. And I buy a pie pumpkin, and we turn it into like an honest to God fresh organic pumpkin puree, and then we make pie and bread from it, and it is the best pie I've ever had in my life because it's so creamy and fresh, and I look forward to that. Like
I don't
every
believe
single
you.
year.
You
Okay,
better
so
make it, and I'll tell you
Stephanie,
if
you're
it's
Camp
true.
Pumpkin.
I can pumpkin.
And Catherine, I think I heard you say you're Camp Apple.
Yeah,
I do have a really good apple pie recipe though too,
I
and
like
I have
lots of
I have some
cinnamon.
canned in my pantry right now that I
I
can.
love apple. I do love apple, but I think for fall I'm Camp Pumpkin
Yeah, I
because
do
I
pumpkin
think
pie.
for winter I can go Camp Apple for winter and do all my apple stuff at Christmas.
I would be
Okay, that's
You're
fair.
a cheater. You're a
I
cheater.
know.
Oh, she asked the questions. She can make the rules. That was funny.
I would probably be Camp Pumpkin if I liked pumpkin.
Oh,
So that's my problem. And I like
I mean,
my. Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, I think of apple is early fall. I think of pumpkin is late fall.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
I
Well,
think of pumpkin as Thanksgiving, Halloween, but I think of apple as that early, like go
Thanksgiving.
to the orchard kind of.
So
well,
then,
and you think about an apple for the teacher, and kids usually go back to school in
Yeah,
September, which
that's-
over here they went in August this year, so that's crazy.
okay, so what do
My
you do? Do you
my
go back
6-year
to apple
garden
at
plan.
Christmas?
Which is hilarious because she stayed up
It
one
is.
night and made a 6-year garden plan.
I have a 6-year garden plan. It includes a pumpkin patch and a mini apple orchard with 3 apple trees
Oh,
that
that's
include the 3
About
kinds of apples that I use in my apple pie recipe, which we thought was a family recipe, like from my great grandmother, and it's literally exactly out of Better Homes and Gardens.
Your grandma was famous then.
She
Clearly.
was, clearly. It's like great grandma Russell's pie recipe, and that they have this special combination of apples, like the special numbers and everything. And I looked at Better Homes. It's the same damn recipe.
That's
okay,
great.
Stephanie, you have to share it with us now. You have to do a video.
I define it.
about
I do.
When you
Absolutely.
make chocolate cake and you put milk in your recipe, sour your milk, because what happens is it makes it very, very moist.
I put coffee in mine, cold coffee.
Really?
Yeah,
But
whenever I'm
sour
making chocolate
milk.
cupcakes.
Just a little bit of lemon, sour your milk, and it just makes it so tender. Like your cakes are just awesome.
I can't cook. I buy my chocolate cake.
Oh, I got this recipe from
Aunt Stephanie can come help Hazel with
great.
cake.
And Stephanie's gonna have to.
And Stephanie and cousin Angela. It'll be perfect.
She's screwed if she's basing it on me, so poor kid.
We've arranged our children already.
Done.
They're
It's all
gonna
gonna
have to
work
get married. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's not
I
their
mean,
fault, it's ours.
Not for real.
No.
Not for real. But, I don't think either one of us would complain.
Actually,
we
our
actually were
kids are
related.
weirdly compatible. Now we'll let them
Oh,
figure
yes.
that out one day, but it's funny because we have 2 of our kids are just like they are just
Yeah. So Angela and Hazel are like, they were 2 peas in a pod playing, like having a great time. But Angela shares a ridiculous amount of interest with John David. Ridiculous amount. So it's like she was
we
at
won't make them get married, all right? But it would be cool.
it would be cool if they did. But it was hilarious. Tonight she was at a parents' night out at her coding classes. She's studying computer coding. She wants to be a computer engineer for NASA. This is her goal in life at the moment. And
She's in
so
like 4th or 5th grade?
she's in 5th grade. They just did MAT testing. She tested at 11th and 12th grade level across the board in all subjects.
Awesome.
nice.
So I was like super excited for her. And but
My
so
kid's
this
like,
is,
I didn't read the directions.
well, medication helps with that.
Yes,
But
yes, it does.
anyway, so tonight, her idea of a good time, she dressed head to toe in Pokemon, like she was wearing like a legit Pikachu outfit and a hat. And she pulled up all her Pokemon stuff and cards to go trade and went and hung out for 3 hours with a bunch of little kids well, not little kids her age who also geek out over Pokemon. And that was her Friday night. And she was so thrilled, just so thrilled. And I tell you would love this. She was sitting on the floor next to my sewing station going through all her Pokemon cards. And she was like, "Oh, I love the floor." And she's like, "I'm not being sarcastic," because she learned what sarcasm meant
That's
today.
my girl.
And I was like,
Me
you
and
are
my
like
floor.
Chantel. You are Chantel right now. You don't even know this.
I love
but
I have all these wonderful places to sit, and you will find me on the floor. I can't help it.
but
I also have attention deficit disorder, so you know.
Oh
as,
yeah,
as does my daughter. So that's why it was just like,
me, I'm all over the place. I don't know if you can tell her.
Well,
squirrel.
hey, welcome to the club. We're all there.
Oh, I know, right?
I don't sit still.
No.
Okay, finish this one.
Oh,
I
that's
sit
cool.
still. I sit still while I'm piecing.
I mean, I guess I sit still in the bathroom.
But I put too much pink on one side. I didn't realize that.
Let's see it again.
Oh, it'll just absorb.
There we go.
it once you
I
get
think
it.
once you put it
I
all
like it.
together.
I like it.
But see how much better
I
I'm
like
getting?
pink.
Look at my seam. Like
I like it.
they're a
It
lot
looks good.
sweeter than they used to be.
Oh God, this is taking forever. I'm trying to do like
Are you doing graffiti?
I'm doing continuous curves with rulers. So I'm taking this ruler work class, and it's a
that
really
is maybe not the project you should be doing live on the internet.
oh no, it's working out beautifully. You should see it. It's just taking forever, and I just really want to draw all over this quilt top. And so it's placemats,
Yeah.
and you can see like the curves they're turning out beautiful.
They are pretty.
Taking forever, and I'm like, can't I just draw now? Can't I
That
doodle
is-
all over my?
That is how ruler work works. You should look at Natalia Bonner stuff because she
Oh, I love
combines
her stuff.
free motion and ruler work just masterfully.
But this is for the class, and so you know, to meet the requirement of the class,
You
I
gotta
have
do
to
the
do
thing.
this. Yeah, I gotta do the thing. Sorry, I lost you guys there for a second. No, I don't want to set my alarm.
I don't think my children have to be anywhere in the morning.
What?
Not until like
Insane.
11.
That never happens to you.
I know. I've been actively trying to get them to not do Saturday morning things.
So y'all were talking about Christmas earlier, about Christmas stuff. I've made Christmas quilts, but they were always gifts for someone. So this
Mhm.
one's what I'm making for myself.
That's cute.
So it's out of a jelly roll book. And it shows so these are 18 and a half, 18-inch finished or whatever. You're supposed to make 9, so it'd be 3 rows of 3. And I was like, no, that's only a 50-something quilt. I like big quilts. So I'm going
I
to
like
make
big quilts, and I cannot lie.
absolutely. And so I'm going to make 30. It'll be 5 across and 6. I mean 5 across, 6 down instead of a 3 by 3. But it's a very cute. Let me show you what the pattern is. It's really cute.
Yeah. Okay. So they're supposed to be like wreaths.
Mm-hmm. But they're friendship stars.
I
But
like that a lot.
That's cute.
I figured it out. It's like, okay, instead of making 9, but if you want to make the 9, like if you just want to do the 9, that's only half of a jelly roll. So you don't, that's all
It
you
doesn't
need
use a lot.
to make
Alright,
the
so-
9. So I have 2 jelly rolls of this particular print, so I can make 4 times I can do 4 times 9, which I would be 36. I only need 30, so I'm good.
So how big is the 9? You said it's 52?
50, hang on a second.
Mhm.
54-inch square. It's like, that's not very big, that's not a very big quilt. And then then it's square, and it's like, okay, I want to make it for my bed, because I have a Christmas retreat, and it's like, okay, I want my bed to have a Christmas quilt on it for Christmas.
Oh, that'll be sweet.
So which
At
retreat are
one
you going
point-
to at Christmas?
Christmas one will be in Yoakum.
What's Yoakum? Where's Yoakum?
The town is Yoakum. It's east. It's east, and trying to think if it's a little northeast from me or if it's
It's in Texas?
Yeah, it's Texas. Yeah, it's only a couple, maybe two or 2.5 hours from me, something like that. Not too bad.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, hang on, I'm going to pull it up and see exactly what it is. I don't know if maybe some of you might have heard of Gonzales. It's out by Gonzales, Texas. Let's see.
At one point, I had a goal of having a Christmas quilt on every bed in the house.
I bought a Christmas quilt of some sort for everybody's bed, but I have not made one. No.
Well, we have the
I don't like
one that
making
shall
bed
be
quilts, though. That's a
named.
Donna thing. Donna loves her bed quilts.
I do. I absolutely do.
I like
That
my
came out
cuddle
so
quilt.
loud. You're very
She's like, I
excited about it.
do.
You could talk to Gwendolyn if she saw the pictures, I think probably on my Facebook page. The two quilts that I got first and second in, the bottoms of them are rolled up under and pinned because
they're huge.
They didn't want to hang anything over 100 inches. So I had to do something with that or move the sleeve down. It's like, no, I'm not moving the sleeve down, because then when I get home and I want to hang it, then I got to move the sleeve again. So
Move it back,
pinned it up. But the other quilt guild from last year, no, they had plenty of room. I didn't have to, my sleeves were at the top like they're supposed to be, and they didn't care. Well, like one of my quilts is 112 long, so I had to tuck up 12 inches of that kind of. Yeah, I had to tuck up under 12 inches, or I think I did 13 just to make sure it wasn't dragging on the ground. Whenever they hung it, but yeah, it's weird because it's like, okay, you're looking at it, and all the little baskets, the flower baskets at the bottom are all cut off because I had to fold it up. So it was different.
You ever made a door quilt?
Huh?
Have you ever made a door quilt?
No.
I've heard of them.
That's like what I called it. Like when I was young, and we were talking like 25 years ago. It basically would be like a kind of like a panel, but you make it and you put it on your door for decoration.
Right.
And so
They're real hot like a couple years ago.
I know what they are. I've just not made one.
Yeah, the one I have that I made, I was in my 20s when I made it. It's a big Santa. And then on the other side, it's got a big old stocking up on it. But yeah, it's displayed on your door.
I painted a quilt on my door.
Like that's up my alley.
You painted one?
I did, on the inside.
Like
I filmed it.
Type
No, like the whole door is a quilt.
Oh wow.
A quilt pattern,
She
like a
did this
geometric
taped
one.
out pattern.
It may have been
terrible.
in the middle of the night when I did it.
It was a great idea.
I want to do those ones. I don't know. There's a lady that's here that
I did film it. I still have touch-ups to do on it to wrap it up, and then I'm gonna put a video out. But it turned out so cool.
Well, this
and the
lady,
lines are
she made
super
a
sharp.
quilt. She made a quilt, and it covers her car. When she goes to a quilt shop, she covers the entire car with this quilt. And it looks like a car, like it's got the windows and the door handles.
Like a car cover or something?
Yes, but it's an entire quilt.
Where is this person? We need to get her on here.
Yeah.
You need to Google it and look at it. It's very cool. Very cool. Cover your car in a quilt. Yeah. I don't think I would make one.
No, personally, I don't even want to make my own bed
Well,
quilt.
I feel like something like that is one of those things that you do it so that you get attention, so you get people to talk to you about it. Like you're going to your retreat or you're going to a quilt show, and you pull out your quilt, whip it over your car, and then people are like, "Oh, so cool!" And it's a conversation piece. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Yeah.
but the bad thing is, I wouldn't want to walk off and leave my car.
Right, somebody would steal your
Somebody's going to
quilt.
steal it. Yeah, you're going to have somebody that's going to stay there so you can go shop.
I'm thinking like all the bugs and stuff that would end up on it as you're driving.
No, you take
That
it
would
on.
be
they're
gross.
just stay out when you drive.
No,
It's like
it's
a
just
car
when you
cover.
park.
Yeah.
It's just when you park. It's just when you park. You're
Okay.
not driving with it on. No.
I was gonna say, like, the police have got to have opinions about this if she's driving with it.
Or maybe
We're
if
a little
you had,
late.
like,
We're
a
getting
truck,
tired.
you could
It is
do
getting
one.
late.
If you had a truck, you could do one with a truck, and then that way, if you're like stargazing or if you're going to an outdoor theater or something, your car's covered in a quilt. That'd be kind of cool.
Right.
I
Well,
just don't
should
have that
we-
type of time.
Should we call it? It is 12:04.
I think, yeah. I mean, Stephanie thought we were driving with quilts on the windshield, so I think it's time to be
Well,
done.
I was assuming like there was like an opening for the windshield, and that
Oh,
she's
well-
No.
driving with it that way. And I'm like, this sounds highly illegal. And
Hang on 1 second, because I'm going to pull this up and see.
You could just put
If I
like
can just-
you
if I
could
can
do it that
find it.
way and just put like a zipper where it would just open.
yeah, but still, it sounds really illegal.
It does. And it sounds like a pain in the butt to wash.
You know, if people only watched the last 20 minutes of this show, I think they'd be more.
So we need to be more slap happy earlier in the night is what needs to happen.
We need to start 3 hours before on our own, and then film it.
I sent Chantel a clip of Michael Sheen and David Tennant from stage, and I was like, this is what we need to put out as like our social media shorts. It's like our ridiculous conversations.
So
We
here's-
have ridiculous. We
here's-
had a conversation last week about our husbands and how we basically took them from their mother's womb, and
So there
it
you
was
go.
Why
the
we need
funniest
mental health
conversation.
medication.
Donna has
Oh my
picture up.
gosh. I mean, that's really cool.
It
That's
is
not-
cool.
see.
That's not the one I was talking about. But when I Googled it up, I got that
See,
one.
there's like an opening for the windshield. They could
And
drive with that thing.
And here's this. Here's this one.
Yeah.
I'm right.
It's gray fabric.
That's
Well,
insane.
Oh no, this one is. Yeah, you're right. The back glass is open and everything. That's glass.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This seems very illegal.
You know, some people make casserole
They're not
carriers. Some
driving it.
people just cover their cars.
Casserole.
They're not driving them. Yeah, this one. Here's one.
Whatever
Look at
you want.
Look at here. Here's a Volkswagen.
Now that sounds cute.
Yeah, that sounds cute.
Okay,
I think that's a car wrap. I don't think that's a
Well, that's
quilted
cute.
car.
No, it's a quilt. You can.
Is it? Because
Yeah,
I know somebody who did like a wrap for their car. They owned a shop and they did a wrap that looked like a quilt, but it was a wrap, not a.
That's really cool though.
Here's another one. There's a bunch of them out there, but that's a quilt around a car. Like you can see that it's over the car.
That's
It's
crazy.
not-
I
it's not-
would not want to spend all that time making a quilt for a car
Amen.
and then drive it around and have it get muddy and buggy and all the things that the elements will do to a quilt. I mean, that would like make my heart hurt.
No, it's not that. I wish I could find. I will look and see if I can come up with it by next time that we come on and show it to you. But it's very, very cool. And there was like a little video of it. Somebody was videoing it, and it was interesting. But yeah, making big quilts, I guess, to do that.
Well,
But
when you're out of bed,
I won't be making one. No, I will not. I
You're
will not
funny.
be making one.
I will not.
I
be
want
doing-
you to make one. I want to see that.
No, because I got too
I'm
many
just
other.
not going to do it.
I have actual quilts that I need to be making. Bed quilts I want to make.
I have daydreams
There
I
you
gotta
go.
fulfill
I
here.
have, I have a whole room full of quilt kits and things, and yeah, it's like a daily rabbit hole. Which one am I going to work on next? Right, but I did
This
start
is why I like one project at a time.
this Christmas friendship star one. I was able to start it because I finished 3. Right, I finished 3 quilts, so I get to start a new one.
Is that your general rule, or you just felt like it was time?
No, I started telling myself I have to get these quilt. I have I don't know how many I have that are started or kitted up, right, ready to go. And so I cannot until I finish, like finish, not just finish a quilt top. Like it needs to be finish. Then I can start another one. But yeah, but I don't need to be starting any new ones, right? Because I really do have enough that are started that you know, I actually carried 12 project boxes downstairs, put them in my den. They're in my den because, well, it's actually my dining room and den. It's a big, huge open room or whatever. But I have a nice sewing machine set up down there and all the stuff that I need down there too. So sometimes I'm up here in my sewing room and sometimes I'm down there. But the projects are down there. It's like when I get those 12 finished, then I can put 12 more down there because there's 12 more right behind it and 12 more behind those. So I just need to get them done.
So Donna's not going to do the car.
I'm not going to do the car. I might do a car if it was like this big, you know, maybe a foot
Right,
by
like a Lego car.
yeah, little what do you call them? RC, not RC, are they RC cars?
RC, yeah, the radio control.
Yeah, RC cars. Might do
Yeah,
something.
there you go.
But
Here's
really, I don't. I have too many projects to do. That looks awesome, Chantel.
That's the ruler work I did
That
while
looks
on
really
here.
nice.
Apparently, I can ruler work
Awesome.
while on here, but I can't free motion because I lose my mind. And
Yeah. Well, what are you putting in the
Free
center?
motion takes more.
I have no idea
Concentration.
yet. I have certain motifs I'm supposed to like do. I have to have so many of each
So
unit.
you're doing this for a class that you're.
Mhm.
you're
It's an
teaching
online
or that
class
You're taking
with
or
string and story. Is the
string and story, and it's a class that you're taking, not one you're teaching.
No, it's what I'm taking. Yeah,
Taking.
I'm doing.
So this is
all-
different than the graffiti class.
Yes, that's
Okay.
that's a different class too. So I'm trying to, I can appreciate the rulers. They have their place, definitely. Do I want to doodle all over my quilt? Absolutely. Do I want to stay in the lines? No.
But see,
No.
now
It is fun to combine them though.
But
It is
Yeah,
really
that's
fun
what
to
I was
combine them.
thinking. The
They
center
are-
of that would be nice if you did some graffiti in the center.
I
of that.
want to.
Yeah.
However, I have so many motifs that I have to like do. And this is like my final project. It's a
Okay.
set of placemats. So I kind of am not going to break the rules, even though I want to. I'm like, can't I just
my
color all
problem
over it
is
now?
when I bought my long arm, my dad had passed and I had the money, so I bought the computer, right? Because I
Oh,
did
yeah.
I did want to vote for the public and make some money too, right? But so I have never learned how to free motion and I've never learned how to do ruler work. I bought a handy quilter in December. They usually come out with like either 3 or 4 it's like a box of it'll be like a mystery box of rulers. And so I bought 3 or 4 of them. Honey, I bet
I have some of them.
they were like
I like this one.
I think they were $50 and each
Yeah,
box was
those are expensive.
$50. And I have probably 40 rulers from that.
Wow.
Right. And so I have
Oh,
tons
nice.
of rulers and I've got the ruler foot and everything. I just have to decide
I'm the
okay, what am I going to
opposite.
do? Because
I have-
I have the automation
two
and I've never
courses.
used it.
and it's a big and it's like getting GPS, right? If you just got a map and learned your way around, then you know your way around. If you use GPS, you can't find your way out of a paper bag because you don't know how to, and it's not that I don't want to, it's just that I have my favorite thing to do is piece. And then when I get the quilt tops done, I just want to get them done, right? I don't
Oh,
want
I don't blame you.
But I want to, I'm going to have to just set aside and say, okay, every second week of the month or something, I have to do either free motion or I have to do ruler work. In other
And
words,
it can be
it's
very
like
frustrating.
well,
I
I
have
just need
2
to start.
courses that you can take
She
on
does.
that. There's
Yeah.
one on free motion and then there's one that's a follow-up on ruler work.
And see,
then
and I've done free motion and ruler work on my domestic, but it's totally different on
it
a long
is.
arm because you're not moving,
Well, and
on a
these
domestic, you're moving the quilt and on the long arm, you're moving the needle. It's just totally different.
are both taught on both the domestic and the long
Yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
So you see me doing it on both
Uh-huh.
depending on, for the same video.
Well, you'll have to email me the link or whatever. And
Yeah.
because and I just need to start. It's not that I can't do it or that I'm intimidated.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just I have to.
Everyone just needs to.
I just have to say, okay,
for it.
this is the day or this is the week that I'm going to do it because otherwise I won't. It's like it's got to be in the.
Well, I
it's gotta be in
understand.
the plan. It's not going to be like, oh, today I feel like learning this. It's not going to
It's
happen.
the initiation of the learning that's like, today I got to get through the hard part of it. But I have automation with this actually, and I've never used it because I have to figure it out.
Yeah, well,
And
and see, for me,
although
the
I
handy
enjoy
quilter-
this portion of it, so
yeah, the handy quilter, I have the Amara, it's a 20-inch, and it was so user friendly. I taught myself how to do it. I taught
I'm
myself
sure I
how to
could.
do the computer part, right? And I'm not real, I mean, yeah, I know computers, but it's like it was very easy to learn. And then anything that you want to know is on a video somewhere, or there's a couple Facebook groups, you know, and if you have a question about something, you get stuck somewhere for whatever reasons, like somebody on there knows, they'll tell you.
They always know, right? Somebody always has the answer.
There's a ton of help and stuff. So yeah, but the dealer that
I have to get my things set up
work
underneath it. I don't have my gears set up where
Didn't you
like
disconnect them?
yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
heck.
because it has such a better feel. I mean, Steph, you felt this when I
It
first
was
had it
really
set up.
stiff. It was
It
really
was a bit
stiff.
of an etch to sketch kind of situation. And once I got rid of that, it feels a lot, it feels smooth and I can do what I want.
Well, but also with that, like on mine, you know, there's different settings. If I'm going to do free motion, I'm going to turn, you know, the gears are off, right? You don't
Well,
want your
I hadn't
gears
figured that out yet.
off. Yeah. So
I
there's
just
different
took mine out.
there's different settings for it so that, you know, you can you know, have it automated or regulated or whichever way you want to do it, right? But you want those gears off if you're doing free motion or ruler work, right? You don't want them resisting what you're trying to do. You want it to flow and move, right?
Right.
You move
Is
a
it
little
kind
bit.
of like trying to
move
do
a little
free
bit.
motion with the feed dogs up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well,
with
guys,
that,
I'm going to say goodnight.
I think we
'cause
should call it a night. Yeah.
I,
It is
Yeah.
late.
if I keep going, I'm going to mess this up.
yeah.
All right. All righty. Good
The
night, ladies.
Good night, everyone.
Have a good holiday weekend, everyone.
Oh, yeah, it is a long weekend, huh? The kids are going to be home, Steph. Woo!
okay.
Oh, and will my husband. So he will.
I'll go ahead and email you.
Yeah, go ahead and email me and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
It was
work.
awesome to see all of you guys.
Yes, it was a very chatty night.
We
I
were
was
very
glad to
chatty.
see so much. Well,
I
there's a
enjoyed
lot of people on the chat too, so it was good
Yeah.
to see so many people hanging out.
I wish I could see their
We
I
have
don't,
to like leave it to the side to be able to see what they're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just had my screen set up so I could see the chat, but not the video. And then I had
I
the
have a
video just
secondary
paused.
device running it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put it on my tablet and my laptop, so I can see one in the other.
Come
And
join
then you
us
just have
next
to
week,
mute one.
everyone.
All right. Bye,
Sounds good.
ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
good night.